Ah, yes, the sweet smell of the summer arising coming real fast. Y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy Dub Q, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the Black Cat Panther podcast. Y'all already know what time it is. Look, a lot of talking and a lot of chirping went down today, man, and your boy is here to talk about it. I'm here to put it out there from one to the point. It is what it is. Canales came out and spoke today. Your boy Dan Morgan came out and spoke today. And we're going to talk about basically the direction that these guys have in place. We're going to talk about a lot of the things that came forth today. And make no mistake about it, man, you guys are in the right place. So without further ado, shout out to everybody in the chat. Look, this is one of the ones, man, I can't wait to get into it. Relax and talk sports, man. What's happening? What's going on with you today? He said, what's good with this member only show on Thursday? We're going to get that thing geared up in about a week or two. We're going to get that thing started. Shouts out to the GOAT. That will be his thing to get going. Make sure you are going to become a member. That way you can get this member only privileges of this show that he's going to have for everybody. So make sure y'all pull up. My man say, shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory. He say, finish planting my garden here in Florida. Okra, tomatoes, peppers, sweet corn, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, cooked strawberries, and I will do tomorrow. Shout out to him, man. I hear you. Shout out to C, man. What's happening? Elizabeth Lassiter, what it do? Charles Guller, man. What's going on, man? Everybody who coming on in here, wipe your feet off on the mat. Your boy Q is in the building. So without further ado, let's get into it as we do. Canales comes out today, takes the mantle, and talks about the plan that he has in place for the Carolina Panthers. Number one, now this is what I thought that was so crazy because when they asked Canales about his specific plan for Bryce Young, he said no big fix is needed. So he said the goal is to build an offense that we can be proud of, elevating the whole group and asking Bryce to do his part. That's what my man said. What's up, Anthony Brown? How you living? Um, so the number one takeaway that I have from Canales, because like I said, I got two different takeaways. One from Canales, one from your boy Dan Morgan. You know, like I said, I'm gonna separate the two with what they spoke about. But Canales is a very interesting guy. He is an extreme optimist from what I have taken from what he has said. A lot of the things I don't know if I can truly bank my hat on it and say that Canales believes in some of the stuff that he says. We have been down this road before. We have been told different things before. The number one thing that these guys are kind of alluding to is that they want to build the Carolina Panthers, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 years to do it. Now, if we sit back and we listen in the plan, in the landscape of what they're talking about, I sat back and I said the number one thing that they want to do is they want to fix the interior line. And Canales said this a lot. He said, fix the interior line. That way Bryce can step up and make throws. They believe that Bryce is their guy. Also, Morgan and Canales, like I said, both of these guys together are linked two peas in a pod, and they both feel like they have ample amount of time to really get this thing up off the ground. And what I also took, and this is from Canales. Canales is one of those guys. I listened to him today, and he spoke about a Jero Evero, and he spoke about the importance of having a Jero Evero around. He also spoke to the team's success and how he feel like when the last time they met, a Jero Evero was very calculated in the defensive room. He spoke on how strongly of an individual, how prepared, how calculated, how well put together a Jero Evero is. Now be mindful, this is the same guy that we say in a Jero Evero should have been potentially the head coach. Now, your new head coach is basically in some shape, some form of fashion, alluding to how much he needs He needs a Jero Evero. He said, when I saw this guy, I wanted to be a part of what he does. I wanted to come to Carolina because he was here. This is a guy that I need to help my vision come through. Now, be mindful, as a head coach, it's one thing to have, your eyes on somebody that you feel can help make your vision or help push you or elevate you into another status. But it's another thing when you seem so thirsty or dependent upon this other man doing his job to the point where you feel like you may potentially ride his coattail. I, I'm under the impression Azera ever has a 3-year deal. You have 3 years to sit here with this young fella, and the number one thing is I look at Evero, and I told you with a number 3 defense with a bunch of scrap parts this year, this guy came and gave the NFL a notice. He told the NFL, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to take it to the next level. Imagine what you can do if you gave this guy actual real pieces that he could use for a defense. So it's one of those things. One of my takeaways from the Carolina Panthers today, getting ready for the combine, is that Canales is banking on Azero Evero's defense to bail him out for this year, for this season. Because if you go back to what he said in the beginning, and the number one thing he said was no big fix for Bryce Young is needed. They got a specific plan for Bryce Young, and it almost sounds like they're trying to put him in a game manager role. They're trying to take him from being the young hotshot rookie that they thought he could be into just come on out, just manage the game. We don't need you to do nothing to fuck the game up. We don't need you to do nothing that's going to take away from us moving the chains. Now, Dan Morgan had a mouthful. He had a lot of things to say. He spoke on this team. He spoke on how he want to build a contender, how he want from 2 to 3 years. Everything takes time and patience, how they want to build a run game. He also alluded to the fact that Chuba Hubbard is now our new number 1. There is no other back in this offensive room that's higher on the totem pole right now than Chuba Hubbard. He also alluded to the fact of this run game needs to get better. This offensive line needs to get better. That's some of the things that Dan Morgan was alluding to. So in a nutshell, what I took from it, and this is where you got to read between the lines. They say Icky is going to stay at tackle. For everybody who didn't catch what Dan Morgan said, he said it today. He said Icky is motivated. He's here to almost prove a point this year because Panther fans has rolled him, and they rolled him, in the ground. And they say, oh, move him to guard, move him to this, do that, move him to this, cut him. You had people even screaming, cut Ike Ekwonu after one bad year. He had one good year and one bad year, and they were screaming, cut him. So, like I said, the patience was really short with Ike Ekwonu. They was ready to move him to guard, move him around. They were trying to put him in every position except for the position that he said that he wanted to play. And a lot of people has a problem with him saying, hey, I want to be a left tackle in this league. I think I can be a great left tackle in this league. But Dan Morgan spoke to it today. And like I said, he talked about this offensive line. He talked about the interior push that, like I said, you want to have your young quarterback, Bryce Young, with the ability to step up in the pocket and be able to lay passes out. You want to have him to the point where, boom, we asking him to just do A, B, Y, and Z, rely on the run game. He not come out and do too much. Simplifying it to the point where your young guy is reliant upon everybody else, because what did they say today? Bryce Young is just one piece amongst this whole team. You need everybody working on one full engine to get the tires going. So this is one of the ones where you got to sit down and dissect what they're saying. The hotshot rookie that we had is going to be essentially probably a game manager this year, where they had him dropping back trying to do over 30 passes. Like I said, they spoke to his brilliance. They spoke to how smart he is. But from what I gathered from Canales, I didn't see them boys gush at the thought of having Bryce Young at the quarterback position. It's just a lot of, yes, he's smart. Yes, he's this. It's a lot of podium talk. It's a lot of, I'm supposed to say this because, like I said, I'm not going to come out and tell y'all that I don't believe in Bryce, or I don't believe in what I saw. Now, granted, It was said today at some point in time, yes, Bryce Young did not play well. Yes, the offensive line did not play well. We must get better from those positions. So think about it. Everybody was saying they crucified Bradley Bozeman. They were saying that Bradley Bozeman is one of those guys, they wanted to cut. Now, if I'm listening to what Dan Morgan is essentially saying, he's almost saying something similar to what we were saying at one time. You keep your left tackle, you keep your center, you keep your right tackle in place. Because a lot of the push and a lot of the way that the offensive line was losing was in the interior shell that's supposed to protect Bryce Young in the middle. Now, be mindful, if you don't have a good left guard and a good right guard, as soon as you drop back, your center is either trying to help cover for the right guard, or your left tackle is either trying to help cover for your left guard or your right guard. You got your tackle and your center trying to help cover for these two guys that's deficient. And it's hard to watch these two young guys that we know can get out here, and what they do best, they run block. When it's time to get these guys in the open field and get to the second level, they do that almost as well as anybody else in the league. So to watch these guys go through such a you had to understand that this is where we're sitting at. We're sitting at the point where everybody is looking at these guys and they're saying, "Wow, if we can just get a left guard that could come in and be competent, not get pushed back, and able to get to the next level instead of getting pushed back, we can start flourishing in the offensive game. We can start flourishing in the run game. We can take things to the next level. We can go from level A to level B." That's what we're missing. Guard play. We haven't on each side of the line. We didn't have any guards. We beside our right tackle, we can't name one guard that we had at right guard. Corbett went down. Everybody else that interchangeable, all those pieces that we had in there. Come on, man. Left guard, Brady Christensen, like I said, he was drafted as a left tackle, but there's a reason why you have him at left tackle and you still going to draft Ike Ekwonu. There's a clear reason why you go and you do that. Number one, he wasn't cutting the mustard when he was here. So you needed to upgrade from that position, and we did that. They slid him in the guard, but he got hurt. And the number one thing is you must be available in the NFL. You got to be available to keep your name relevant. And he has been hurt this past year, and he has battled with injuries over the last 2 years. So after a while, it's going to be hard for him to keep his spot in the NFL with him battling for injuries. So what I took away from Dan Morgan, the number one thing this guy said, at number 33, we're going to pick best player available. Now be mindful. Every time we do a mock draft around here, every time we look at what's available at 33, the best player that's always sitting there is always an offensive guard. I hope people understand that. Every time we do one, or we look at what's sitting there, it's always either Graham Burton or it's one of those guys, interior offensive lineman that you could put on the left side or either the right side. I think that these guys are slating up to really build this offensive line. They're probably going to get somebody in free agency. They're probably going to target somebody in the draft to bolster up this interior offensive line and make one which was a weakness a strength going forward. And along with a guy like Chuba, they look to try to run the ball to probably open things up for this offense. And all they're probably looking to do is have Bryce do just enough to get by. Just enough to give him enough confidence to not be shake, rattled, or rolled. I mean, you got to understand, from here on out, the Carolina Panthers are in a position where at this combine, it's so vital that they take the time to get the best player in the building. Like I said, they know that they need receiver help. I saw Dan Morgan spoke on that today. That was one of the number one things he spoke on, receiver help and looking at bolstering up the wide receiving corps. But it sounded like to me, yeah, we're going to get a receiver, but it sounded like that wasn't his number one mission. He kept saying, best player available. You better listen and read the tea leaves. That's all I'm saying. Best player available. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We're gonna get to it as we do. What's going on, everybody? Man, number one thing, give me 1 second. We're gonna get into it as we do. I'm gonna play the video for you guys in 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on up for y'all. I'm gonna start up a little bit of what Dan Morgan had going on. So here it is right here. And I'm gonna play a little bit of that right there.
How's it going? What's up, Joe? Good. How you doing? So we're still working through those conversations. Actually meeting with his agent Todd France within the next couple days. We'll have a little more clarity on the situation after that, but we're working on it. I think right now all options are on the table. What those options are, we'll find out. I'll have a little more clarity on that after I meet with the agent. Yeah, I think we would use it. We would definitely use it if we had to use it. And we love Brian. Brian's a Panther, somebody that I know and that I'm close to. I played with his brother, so definitely love Brian. But all options are on the table for him. We need some more playmakers. Obviously.
I'm gonna be real with you. With them saying all options are on the table with Brian Burns, he about as good as gone. Because I heard the difference when they talk about Frankie Louvu over Brian Burns. He said Frank is a guy that we undoubtedly want to sign, and we want to make sure that we keep him here for the long term. We don't want him to get away. There's a difference in how he approached that, and if y'all listen to this going forward, just pay attention. The difference in how he spoke about Brian Burns over the difference of how he spoke about Frankie Louvu. Just sit back and listen to it.
Obviously, we have Adam Thielen, Mingo, but we got to add some more receivers, some more depth and competition in that room right now. And we just got to get guys that can make plays. That's really what we're looking at in the draft or whether free agency. Yeah. I think we're gonna, we have all intentions on re-signing Frankie. We love Frankie. He embodies what a Panther is. He's tough. He's got that dog mentality that we talk about. Nothing's guaranteed in this league, but we are going to try to extend him.
Y'all hear the difference in what he said with Brian Burns? He said with Brian Burns, all options are on the table. With Frankie Louvu, he said we love Frankie Louvu. We want to extend him. He said we realize this is a business, but we're going to try to do what we could to re-sign Frankie Louvu. You notice the difference in the two. It does not sound like they're fully committed to keeping Brian Burns. He said all options are on the table. Basically, they're saying if we get a chance to get this motherfucker out here, he gone. That's exactly what them boys are saying. You better read between the tea leaves of what they said. So y'all could almost just about expect a trade gonna probably be coming through for. They're probably gonna tag this cat, sign him, and then trade him. That's probably what's getting ready about to happen. But let's get back into it.
Yeah, I think so. We have had some talks with Drew Rosenhaus's agent. I think we will look to extend him at some point. Derek's a great player, great person, and he embodies what a Panther is. Right. I'll really defer to our PR department on that. I kind of stay out of that stuff. I think it's not just one priority. I think we have to add a bunch of depth all over the place. I think that we got to just add really good football players that are tough, passionate, play with a chip on their shoulder, and again have that dog mentality that we talked about earlier. Um, I don't think it's just one thing or one position that we need to add to. We just got to get better at all facets. I think
Make sure y'all pay attention to what he just said. He's constantly telling everybody it's not one position that we're looking at. I done told you guys what they said earlier. Best player available is what they looking at. Them boy go fuck around and take a guard at 33. I hope y'all know that. Just putting it out there for y'all. He's steady getting alluding away from a specific position, and he's doing that for a reason. Just sit back and watch. That's all I'm saying.
it's pretty high on the list. I think it's pretty evident that our offensive line, struggled at times last year. We got to get better in that area, and we're going to do everything in our power to make that happen. Yeah, as of now, he's the lead back going forward. Him along with Miles Sanders. I think they're two really good backs that I think can come along and keep getting better together. And I'm looking forward to seeing both of them under the new regime. I think definitely, to your point, I think that's a very valid point. Setting a firm pocket so Bryce can step up. I think that's really important to us right now. I think Icky, the plan is to leave him on the outside at left tackle. I'm excited to see him develop under the new regime, the new offensive line coaches. I'm excited for that potential.
All right, to all you people that want Iggy to go in at guard, there it is right there. He said it. He's looking to get interior. They want to fix the interior of the offensive line. They got to get a better offensive line play. And they say so. Basically, they're saying y'all, Icky ain't the goddamn problem. That's what he's trying to tell y'all. Now, hardhead mugs who ain't listening, move Icky to guard. Put him on the inside. He just said no, sir. How you feel about that, Go?
I want this stuff right. I've been asleep. I had to work all night last night, just getting up,
Yes, sir.
and I want this title Combine Part One because last year, if I'm not, and I hate you to go back. Almost like I told you so. I'm not going. You're never gonna hear me say I told you so. All I'm gonna do is show you the proof. Was it not a lot of stuff said right here on this platform? Black Cat Panther Podcast. I said again, Black Cat Panther Podcast. That was told to you guys. It came to fruition. It came through. We do our research. We read tea leaves. We read stuff. We research. We don't just blow smoke out our you know what and sit here and tell you things. But nobody, they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. Over and over again. Told you this, man. People started taking a wide nine stance after they seen tape when they seen stuff that was going on in the backfield and how they could approach this offense. And like you just said, the interior play was garbage. We got two tackles. Why would you draft or go into free agency when you don't have money, Q, and go try to get a tackle? That don't make sense.
Well, and also another thing, Go. Ike Aquanu sooner or later is going to be slated to get close to $24 million a year. Now, all
Exactly.
these people whining about all the money that we spending at certain positions, and they hawk-eyeing and watching. You want a $24 million left guard? Is
Yeah,
that what you want?
yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. Look, how can you build a team with cheap talent? You get what you pay for. That's always been a saying. Everybody know that
Mm-hmm.
saying. From here to China, you get what you pay for. But go
Mm-hmm.
back. All you gotta do is go look at championship teams, bro. We done broke it down here and told y'all, man, to is absolute simplest core part. Go back and look at other people. We showed y'all. San Francisco payroll, a Detroit payroll, whoever payroll, Kansas City payroll, or this one or that one payroll. Hell, we got Kansas City's finance man. Why did you go get him if they got cheap, you know what I'm saying, no good players? Why would you go get him? Because they got expensive, good talent, and he know how to move the money around. Q, is that not a left tackle? Is that not
Mm-hmm.
an expensive piece of machinery?
Yes, sir.
A
Yes, sir.
good one.
Very. A good
Okay,
one you're
so
gonna pay 20 plus mil for.
why do you move it to guard?
Well, here
And
you
it, and,
move it
and
to
it,
guard because they're saying now be mindful what people said. They said that at left tackle he'll be good. His lateral movement does not allow him to become great. But at guard, that same lateral movement he got now will make him a perennial Pro Bowler. So I guess moving him a couple inches over to the right makes him a perennial
the
Pro Bowl.
the real numbers, what you need to be looking at, he's right on track for a second year player. Right on
Mm-hmm.
track. Don't
Mm-hmm.
for, don't forget, please don't forget. The man started all 17 games in his rookie year. Q hasn't been hurt on the field. Iron sharpens iron. Reps. That's what you got to get. That's the thing you got to remember. If he's got
Mm-hmm.
torn this and torn that and all kind of stuff like that and staying out, fingers hurt, necks like these other cats and stuff like that, he's not getting the reps. He's not getting the proper development. You wait and see any any offensive lineman, whether it's offensive guard, center, tackle, whatever, starts to flourish in the what year, Q?
Offensive line, third year.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Even,
That's the
even,
same thing
even.
with even tackles. Even remember when they got on Derek Brown after year one, they said, "Oh, he don't look like Adamaga Sue." Oh, year two, they say he trash. Year three, he went in the pool. Year
Yeah,
four, they would say, "Now be mindful. This is year four for him." Oh man, Derek Brown setting NFL records.
thank you.
No, no, no. Y'all just said 2 years in a row he was
But
trash.
you see in the first year, what did you see in the first year? What did you see in the first year?
Flashes and signs.
Thank you. So
They
you knew it
show
was
you.
right there. You knew it was
Mm-hmm.
there. You knew it was there. You knew that wasn't trash, bro. You can
You,
tell trash.
the
You can
talent
tell trash.
is always there. It's the thing is, do people have patience to wait for the talent to develop?
That's all. That you now when you say, "Oh, you can't judge a first year player or whatever," you can tell the first year if it's there or not. You can see it. What I'm saying, see it. If people who don't know what I'm talking about, you see it on a consistent basis, not one game here, 10 more games down the road or something like that. If you say a YGM to a Derek Brown, Q, YGM stayed hurt his first year. That's
Mm-hmm.
no good. You know what I'm saying? You knew this guy was gonna be injury ridden, everything else. You know what I'm saying? Throughout his career, which he was, which he was. Then
Mm-hmm.
you seen he things he couldn't do. You seen that when he was on the field. You seen that. Then you said to yourself, by year three, this is all this dude is gonna be. Four sack man, rotational piece, this and that. What is he now in year five, Q?
Same thing. Same damn
Thank you.
thing.
Thank you. That's how you look at it and develop. You can see you can see what we're talking about in the first year. You can analyze and somebody in the first year. It doesn't take 5, 6 years, y'all, to see it. See what this person is going to become in the right system.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what you're looking for.
Well, the problem is, go. We come up with strategies as to why of things out of emotion. We come up with strategies that we feel would make sense, even though anybody with any football knowledge know that you could look at Icky, even though yes, there were some times people were blowing by him, but you got to understand the interior guard play was so bad. Like I said, if he got to try to help out a guard, if he think about it, if you're sitting there at left tackle and you look on over at your left guard, and off the rip, soon as the ball is hit, your left guard automatically beat. You got a
Mm-hmm.
split second to make a choice as a left tackle. It's stay
Yes.
with your man or try to pick
Or
up the
try to help.
interior guard.
Exactly.
Exactly. Try to pick up or help out over there. That's
Scrape
the
them,
same
rub them,
option.
do something. Do
That's the
something.
same
You have to
option
make a move.
that Bradley Bozeman had to go through, and that's why they were talking about getting rid of him too. Now, be
Mm-hmm.
mindful, the core piece of this line is always our left tackle, our center, and our right tackle. But in the middle, our guard play last year was terrible on both sides of
9
the
on the right
football.
side, 6 on the left. Come on, bro.
Hmm
9 different variations on the right side, 6 different variations on the left. Come on, bro. Show me another team that did that this
hmm
year. That's like 13 the year that we had that. What we end up 5 games on that. You can't do that in this league.
Well, that should put an end to anybody coming up here with the guard
Yes,
shit for this year
yes.
because
I
Dan
sure will.
Morgan came up here
And just
himself
address it.
and addressed it. I don't want to hear nobody mention
I don't
anything
want to hear
about
it.
no goddamn guard position.
I
We
don't want to hear
figure
it.
he is slated to play guard because he'll be better at guard. That's your feeling.
I don't
A
want to see.
GM.
I don't want to see
Mm-hmm.
no. You know what? Fuck. I don't want to see no damn mock draft where you go draft a tackle in the 5th round talking about starting for Icky. I don't want to see it. Thank you. Thank you.
See,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Dan
guys.
Morgan. Thank you,
Damn.
Dan Morgan.
Dan Morgan is y'all savior. Y'all say y'all believe in
Yes.
him, right? Well, just listen to what he just said. He said Icky is a tackle. He can't wait to see what Icky's going to, and he was gushing as he said it. This ain't just
Yes.
some bull that he just pull up out of his mouth out of nowhere. He was
Okay.
literally saying he's excited.
Q, do you
Yes, sir.
believe in a guy named Andrew Whitman?
Oh, yes, sir.
Do you know who? So you know who Andrew Whitman is?
Talking about Wentworth, the left tackle that was with the Rams.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
Is it
Super
Whitman or
Bowl
Wentworth?
winning
The
Pro
Super
Bowler
Bowl.
is
What
Wentworth. It's
Whitman or
Wentworth.
Wentworth. Don't know for you. Wentworth. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Andrew, I'm saying the man's name wrong in this. Anyway,
Yeah.
Andrew Wentworth. Andrew Wentworth says that you remember some dumb people say that those are easy positions to play, right?
That's
You
what
know what
they
I'm saying?
said.
Tackle, guard,
Mm-hmm.
offensive line. He say nobody know your name, remember your name. You won't get that glory on the offensive line unless you mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you mess up. Because now is that not an important position? So you mess up, you gonna know my name. You gonna know who I am because guess what I just did? I just a
Mm-hmm.
sack, a fumble, or this and that. I just made that happen. If I don't do my job one time, Q, throughout a game,
They
something get
call it
ready to
your
happen.
name.
One time.
Mm-hmm.
They calling my name. If I don't do my job one time. So that's kind of important, ain't it? That position's kind of important.
Yes, sir.
So you
Very.
talking about one of the hardest positions in the trenches on the line right there, the point of attack. Don't you think it would take a little while to develop into a Pro Bowler, All Pro, this, that, the third? Uh, Somebody with perfect stats on the sheet.
Well, Panther fans believe that, a left tackle being taken at number 6, you should be a Hall of Famer immediately.
Oh, okay.
You should
Yeah, Panther
you
fans.
should come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, unrealistic expectations is what Panther
yeah.
fans have sometimes. So
Okay.
it's all good.
Yeah,
It's all
Panther
good.
fan.
I don't put those kind of unrealistic stuff. Be mindful. We just watched this man in year 2. They already was talking about cut the man. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't say
And
trade him.
I
They
thought
say
we
move
supposed
him
to
to
be the
guard or
hard.
cut him.
Yeah, I thought
Hmm
we supposed to be hard and giving people time and all this stuff and unrealistic. I thought that was us. I thought this was the podcast for that. Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
Well, people
Yeah.
get fed up with us because they feel like we make excuses for some of these guys. And to everybody that loves, like I say, you look at it from a perspective of, okay, this is the best that we could do. Like Icky, I don't want to, like some people say this, I don't want to cut him, but I just want to move him to guard. Nobody said cut him. Why go and get your Kenmore, your Whirlpool stove and try to turn it into a grill outside? That be mindful. It's going to give you the same functions if you leave the motherfucker alone. But if you take it outside, that grill gonna perform differently outside. I mean, that stove gonna perform differently outside. It's gonna heat your food, but you're gonna have to build a different socket. You're gonna have to accommodate it so damn much because it's out of place, it's out of position. But if you kept that thing in position in the house where it's fitted and slated to be, you didn't have to worry about doing that because you need a stove.
It would have developed and became the cornerstone of your kitchen.
Thank you. There it is. See, we make it relatable for everybody who listening, just in case you don't understand. We break it down for you. But we just getting started. Dan Morgan had a lot more to say.
I didn't see all up, but I'm glad you showing it because like I said, I was asleep, so I'm glad you showing it.
Yes, sir. I got you. Everybody pull on up. We're going to get into it. This is an educational channel for a reason. Come on in,
man.
like,
Chris,
comment, subscribe. Yes, sir.
Man, we glad to see all y'all, man. Dimitri Carlton, we glad to see all y'all, man. Eternal, I'm glad to see all y'all. D Till, I'm glad to see you. T Thompson, what's going on, man? Be good. Hey, we glad to see all y'all. Relax and talk sports. Anthony Brown, man. Josh, what's going on? Elizabeth Lasser, C, what's up now? Glad to see all y'all, man. I'm just going through them just a little bit, man. I'll keep shouting y'all out the rest of the time. Glad to see y'all, man. Y'all come on in, man, and get all this. Get all of it.
Mike in the building. What's up, Mike?
The combine has started around here officially. It's time, y'all. We'll be drafting in a little while. Free agency, signing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God, it's that time of the year.
Yes, sir. So we're going to get into it back as we do. He got some more stuff he going to say. And as it goes, I'm going to periodically stop it here and there. Because y'all, like I said, we're going to break it down. To everybody who just getting in here, I don't want to hear shit else but that goddamn guard position. Dan Morgan said it out of his mouth today. He will be a left tackle. So don't fix your lips to come up here and say, oh, he going to be going to guard. All right.
Not another time do I want to hear. Not nada.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now let's get into it as we do.
Yeah, I think wide receiver wise, I think is a strength. I think it's pretty obvious. It's not a secret that we need to have more playmakers in that room. I think there's multiple positions that have players that we like and embody what we want, which is toughness and that passion for the game. Yeah. I think he's trending that way right now. Obviously, there's no guarantees. We still got to have a little while until that happens, but it's trending in a good direction. He's 23 years old. He's young. He's it's been 3 years in the league now. I think he's only going to get better and better. And I think when you bring the right coaches in, that maybe can help him out and, get him better, I think that I'm confident in that.
Be good. Yeah, we'll post a link. We'll post a link in 1 minute. Let us go ahead and get everything straight. Let us finish off this video, and then we'll post a link.
Scheme or coaches from last year. I'm just looking forward to him progressing and getting better. Icky's motivated to be better. He's hungry. I've had multiple talks with him on different occasions, and he's hungry to get better and be one of the better left tackles in the league.
Y'all hear that? I'm just stopping it right there. Y'all hear that now?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, unfair. Him being a rookie, it's hard for rookie wideouts to come in this league and just, have instant success and just dominate from the get-go. Again, a young player that's still developing, has all the tools you need to be a really good receiver in this league. And I'm looking forward to the future with him.
There's been a lot said about Dave Canales being able to adjust to his personnel, particularly to the quarterback. How have you seen him adjust to personnel outside of the offensive line? I know you're not trying to get the scheme too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
but just generally speaking, how have you seen it?
Yeah, to your point, I think Dave does a really good job of knowing his personnel and setting his personnel up, to achieve the best results. He knows what his players do good, and he's not going to ask them to do something they can't do. So, yeah, I think we're different people. We have different philosophies. Not everybody has the same philosophies. When you're the final decision maker, it's always different. And I love Scott. He taught me a lot. We're still friends to this day. I'm just looking forward to the future. I think no matter how many picks we have, we're looking to add impact players at every position. We want to build depth. We want to build competition on this roster. But the 33rd pick, that doesn't mean that we can't do that. So I think all options are on the table at that 33rd pick as well.
Y'all hear that too? All options are on the table at 33. Not just receiver. Them boys sound like they'll take anything that'll help make the team better. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I think schematically, again, Coach Canales, I think he's going to do a great job of setting guys up for success, putting them in the right position, not asking them to do stuff that they don't want to do, that they can't do well. So I think, from the tight end spot, I think we have some capable guys there that, I think that we'll see them progress and hopefully help us in the future.
He called your tight end spot capable. That means there's no sure undoubtedly guy that's there. Now basically he's saying, yeah, we got some talent here, but I'm not fully 100% on our guys. So listen to what he's saying as he go. Shout out to T Thompson. He said sound like a trade back from 33. Could be. Who knows?
I'm with you, T. I'm with you, T. That's what I've been saying. I'm with you.
Yeah, Tommy's a really good athlete. He's really tough in the run game. I think he's actually pretty underrated when it comes to that. But I think the future is bright for him. I think he has a lot of ability as not only a receiver, but also as a blocker. I think it's about improving the Carolina Panthers, not just Bryce Young. Bryce is just one piece of the puzzle. Obviously, he's the quarterback, and I get your question. But we're looking to build depth, we're looking to build competition, and we're looking to build a team that this city can be proud of.
All right, y'all gotta understand. They're trying to, and sooner or later it's gonna come up. He's saying they understand that this right here is a 2 or 3 year plan. He comes out and say that today. So initially, it sounds like to me he's under the belief that he has time to build a competent roster. So David Tepper,
Uh,
hopefully you let the we gonna see.
Rewind that? Just can you step that back just a tad?
Well, it's coming up. The next part I just mentioned, that's gonna be coming up next.
Oh,
But I could
okay,
step it back for a second.
okay. Yeah.
I'll step it back 1 second. Hold on. Here it is.
We're looking to build competition, and we're looking to build a team that this city can be proud of.
No. Yeah.
Quarterback, and I get your question. I think it's about improving the Carolina Panthers, not just Bryce Young. Bryce is just one piece of the puzzle. Obviously, he's the quarterback, and I get your question. But we're looking to build depth, we're looking to build competition, and we're looking to build a team that this city can be proud of.
Mm, that's a little different statement from the press conference.
That sound like he know we a laughing stock. He understands where the
Yeah,
Panthers are sitting at right now.
yeah. Building
They understand
competition.
we are the worst team in the NFL at 2-15, and we done it 2 years in a row. We've been bad. He wants a team that the city is proud of. Be mindful, you haven't had the city cheering in about 7 years, Bubba. So come on,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for y'all. I'm sorry, I'm sick and I need the weather right now. I'm sick as a dog, but I wanted to chime in. I feel like he's saying some cap here because I don't think if JJ McCarthy is sitting there at 33 that he's gonna take JJ McCarthy.
That's what he say. Best player available. So
I think he's selling smoke, selling smoke. I think he wants somebody to come get that 33, go back, which is the right way to go about it. He gets multiple picks and really build his team the right way.
yes, sir. I mean, I don't think he'll come out and say. See, these boys, they operating now because, like he said, he didn't answer a question earlier. He said that's for the PR team. I don't want to touch that. So they thinking full force now because they understand people like me, people like you, people like Goat is sitting here waiting on their every word, and we're gonna break this shit down. So he trying to make
Mm-hmm.
sure he don't say nothing out of the way. You're right. He could be saying something like that because
Yeah.
it could be all cap. Who knows?
Yeah. He has to choose his words very wisely to not let none of his cards show.
But if that's the case, though, Goat, that he just slipped up because he said best player available. If the best
No,
player
I mean they
available,
do
like I
that.
said, is
Yeah, they do
true,
that.
true. But like
He
Q
gonna
said,
have Go ahead.
like you said, though, if
Go
we
ahead, Bob.
sticking to every bit of his word, and you saying best
Mm-hmm.
player available, and one of these
Yeah.
quarterbacks fall, and you say you want to build competition and depth within the team, Carolina Panther fans are going to really be pissed off if JJ McCarthy's there. You didn't take him, and if you just said best player available, and he's the best player available right there at 33. That's all I'm saying.
Man, you
Yeah,
got
but
a
they
hell of
gonna
a
have
point.
that's why they do this right here. He gonna have 4 more press conferences for the end of this week right here. Every time they look at a position, they gonna come back and ask the same question. They gonna ask that question again in a different order. This, that. Then they gonna mix the words up. This, that. They trying to get him to slip. They try to get him. That's their job. His job is not to slip and give you anything. Why you think Bill Belichick don't say nothing when he used to get up there? So he won't slip.
Yeah, I think it's really just about identifying the type of DNA that we want to infuse in our locker room, in our building. Bringing those passionate players, that love football, they love to compete, and they just love the game. So our conversations, we've had a ton of them. They haven't all been about that. They've been about scheme and just the future, and we're really excited about the future here. Yeah, I think it would be best player available. I think if all things are equal, that will go with the need. But yeah,
Did y'all hear that? Best player available at 30. They asked him the question at 33. I know y'all can't hear the questions because I don't know why the Carolina Panthers have some of the worst microphones in the league. For everything that this PR team is, these microphones are just as terrible as they can be. But the question was asked, and they asked him, "What is the outlook at 33?" And he was like, "Best player available. We got to make sure that we build a team." Now, be mindful, Carolina Logic, you hit it on the head right here. Shout out to Logic, man. He said, "You're not taking a QB at 33 for competition. If we grab one, that's Bryce replacement. Be mindful. He's steady saying we want to build
Mm-hmm.
a competitive roster. We want competition. We want all these positions to have somebody next man up. We want depth. He's steady saying stuff like that. Now be mindful. If he starts talking about competition, oh boy, they may try to slide one in on us and say at 30. Who knows? At 33, they might try to take a quarterback for competition. Because maybe Pop has it right. If a JJ or one of them boys sitting there, maybe they take a look at him. Who knows? I think in a perfect world, if a Bo Nix or a JJ or one of them boys take, it's going to make them very hard. Knowing what they know with this team and the way this team is constructed, it's going to make it very hard to say, you know what, let's pass up on that. It's going to be definitely something to look at.
I did. I did. I've actually known him since, he's been a little kid. I work with his dad, John Idzik, and he was kind of a youngster, kind of around the office back when I was a pro scout in Seattle. So uh, it's crazy how things come full circle, and I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, the our starting guards, they're progressing. Obviously, they had injuries and landed on IR last year, and I think both those guys are sick about that and super motivated to come back stronger next year. Um, but again, we're going to look to add depth and competition at every spot, not just the guard spot. Um, so I think future wise, we're focused on the O line, but that's not the only position we're looking to focus on.
All right, y'all better listen.
Yeah, I think we're still working through things. Just talking to Coach Canales, working with Brand Tillis. Um, we've had a lot of conversations just about, the roster, what the future looks like. So we're still working through that. I'm not going to make any comparisons on the staffs. What I can say is I'm really excited about this staff. I think we have a lot of young and veteran talent on that staff, and I'm just looking forward to see them help our players grow and develop. Yeah. I do. I do. I feel like, Coach Ijiro, I think, is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL, and I think will be a head coach here very soon. And, just to talk to him every day and see his vision for the defense, I think our whole scouting staff, not just myself, have a really good feel of what we want, and we're going to be able to go out and attack that.
So they're going to get him some pieces.
A lot of defensive players have been outspoken about wanting to keep guys together. I know that's not just an offseason thing this year, but next year. How, when you talk about these other positions, how far ahead are you planning into 2025?
Yeah, I always think, it's a 2 to 3 year plan. We're always looking ahead, always trying to, look at future free agent classes, draft classes, just kind of see maybe where we're weak and where we can add in, this year and supplement this year, just to plan for the future.
Is that
Y'all hear that? They just say it's a 2 or 3 year plan, aka they done sold Tepper on. They got 2 to 3 years to figure this thing out. So what he's saying
Not no
is what we don't
PlayStation.
get in,
Not no
what we
band-aid
don't,
job.
what we don't get in this draft, we gonna get in next year draft and the year draft after that. So for everybody who thinking they're gonna try to fix all this 1 year, no sir, it's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna happen.
The key word he been saying, Q, is build, build, build. I done heard him say that word 3 times now. Not read, but just build. I done heard him say that word about 3 times.
Well, go Kevin Kev hit this on the head right here. He said a 2 to 3 year plan. He said Bryce ain't gonna make it. Number one,
No, but
think about it.
I'm not saying
If he
that, Kevin
comes,
Kev. That I'm not stepping on that, Kevin Kev. I'm not stepping on that.
So I'm gonna address that. If he comes out and he has another lackluster year after they supposedly have been taken this year to make him. Now be mindful. I just read y'all where head coach Dave Canales came on in his interview earlier and said there's no specific plan. They have a specific plan for Bryce. No big fix is needed. So basically, they were just saying that his goal is to build an offense that we can be proud of, elevating the whole group and asking Bryce to do his part. That's what Canales said today. He wants Bryce to do his part. What is his part?
Mhm.
As a quarterback, they're going to ask him to come in
Take
and
care of the
probably
ball.
just take care of the ball and don't turn it over. Thank you, Pop. There it is.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you
And
you
if
know what
he,
that also told me?
what's
That
up,
also
Doc?
told me that he's not committed. He's not to Bryce.
But why did he say
Okay.
okay? Is that not a full 360 from the initial press conference, the introductory press conference?
Well, in the
Is that
Mm-hmm.
press
not a
conference,
360 from the original introductory press conference?
from what I took from him when I listened to Canales, that he said I finally have got more tape. You know, I finally have able to. Uh, he said at one point he was dealing with a coach that made him go out here and do some research on quarterbacks, and so what he's gonna do, he's gonna present Bryce Young all the things that he needs to work on and things that he does good, and help him figure out what they can do within this offense to make it better. But I didn't hear anything from what I'm taking from it that he, Canal is basically saying my system's good enough. If you don't do your job, then that's on you. That's where I'm taking it from. That's my interpretation. I
So
don't
so
hear commitment.
so Pop,
Yeah.
out of what you just said, because you basically saying you didn't hear him say he gonna commit to Bryce. Well, be mindful. This is the combine. We about to start drafting. How in the hell is your head coach said there's no big fix needed? There's no specific. That he has a specific plan for Bryce. How is he saying stuff like this right here? There ain't much he got to do, and like you're saying, if he don't run my system right, then that's on him. That's kind of if he dies, he dies. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I looked at it.
Bob,
I looked at it
you
in that sense. I think he's not gonna bash him, uh, especially on TV in front of everybody. I don't think he's gonna do that. He's very hyper
Pop,
positive.
Pop,
Um,
Hmm.
Pop,
but
you, Pop,
go ahead.
you,
Go. He
Pop,
do got a point.
Pop.
He's not
I
gonna get in the
understand.
presser
Hey,
when there's
listen, I
cats like
understand.
us
I,
who's dissecting every word. So he's not gonna get out there and say, "Hey, Bryce is
I
terrible."
understand. But did you
Okay.
see? It's you're talking differently now. There's different talk now. Do
Well,
y'all?
he said
That's all I'm
after he
saying.
saw
There is
he
different
pulled a
talk
Matt
now, right?
Rule. He pulled a Matt Rule after he saw the tape. He said, "Hold on now, the shit ain't looking it ain't looking like what I
Stop,
thought."
stop, stop. I'm not bashing nobody, y'all. Stop. I'm not saying nothing.
That's what I'm saying,
But
Coach.
just listen to the different tone now. Listen to the different tone now that everybody's taking. I told y'all don't jump out the window at that press conference. I asked y'all, please don't do it. Now listen to the tone now. After what? 3 weeks? About 3 weeks, right?
Yep.
About three
Yep.
weeks.
Yep.
Now listen to the different tone now from Dan Morgan. Listen to the different tone from Canales. After you go look at some tape, after you go evaluate some things, after the pity of being hired, after all the podium talk, after you got to say things you got to say or whatever. Because take a listen, and everybody did make this a key point. The national media and everybody else, they said there was guys sitting in the audience, they didn't call their name, right? You remember they said that? Do y'all remember they said that?
Mm-hmm.
Only person they spoke on was that guy. That's the only person they spoke on at the press conference, at the introduction press conference. Now the tone has changed, y'all. All I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing else. I'm through.
Yeah. Shout out to Flame for Jesus. They say he gonna run the ball and keep it out of Bryce's hands. Yeah, that's about the sense of what I got from everything. When you saying no big
Yeah.
fixes needed for this guy, like I say, they big up them. They say, well, his intelligence that we thought that he had last year is still there. Well, you saw how that looked, all that intelligence and all that goddamn playmaking ability that they claim he had. So if that's still there, then that's what you have in store. You're gonna get similar results. So hopefully they can clean it up a little bit and make it look up, polish it and make it look a little better. If not, well, it's gonna be a long year.
Yeah. All I'm telling y'all, watch the tone. Watch that tone.
That's the
Anytime
other
you
thing
see
that
these jokers here on this on film, on camera, watch their tone. Really, a lot of stuff that coming out of their mouth sound like same shit, but watch the tone. They might say watch the tone they say it in now. The tone is different now. That's
and this is another thing that we did on Black Cat as we observed these guys. You gotta look at their body language. His Canales' body language to me was a little bit different than it was in the press conference. You know, he was a little more humble. You know what I'm saying? He was appreciative, this, that, and other. This time around, it seemed like he's like, okay, I've been studying. Uh,
mm-hmm.
I'm in these books, and I've seen what I've seen, and that's why I think he made a comment like, "There's nothing to fix," because maybe he feels like this guy's where he at. Like he's gonna need way more help. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we put a lot of pieces around. Like you said, if he dies, he dies. That's just what I got from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
And
the other crazy thing is the Carolina Panthers just increased the game tickets today. Isn't that crazy? It's already a 7% increase on the tickets for this year coming up. They're already talking about raising the ticket prices. Now be mindful, ain't won a game, ain't win number 2 and 15 next year, and they already talking about the prices for the tickets are already going up. How on what God's green earth are we raising tickets for a losing team? I mean, I'm just saying.
That's
I'm
that's a good
just.
question. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
question. Maybe they're trying to make up from all the 45-cent tickets they sold last year.
What it is, they take a look at that revenue income that they usually see. Because, like I said, with the PSL owners, yeah, they get their money, but then the PSL owners got to get their money off of reselling some of them seats. And if they ain't get their money, they selling the PSLs. So now you got a problem with available seats. Nobody to put tails in them seats. It's not looking good, brother. Help you make money. And
I don't.
look. Mhm.
Sure, I don't think we get. I don't think we getting a tight end in this draft. I really want to, but I don't think we getting a tight end in this draft.
Okay, why you say that?
Just how Dan Morgan was talking about Tommy Tremble, I think he's gonna take up most of that. Uh, I think we're gonna get rid of Ian Thomas, but I don't think we're gonna draft a tight end. We should, but I don't think they will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Pop for that. Also in the chat, we got a super chat. Shout out to Mike. He said, Big Mike is a prophet. Wait until I prove it. Hit the like button and subscribe and get a super chat in. Yes, sir. Y'all already see what time it is.
Mike.
So I'm a that was Dan Morgan. I'm gonna play about the first minute of Dan Canales because what I want to show y'all sometimes is it's hard to believe in a guy like Canales because he gives me bullshitter vibes. And I hate to say that. I like Dan Canales, but
Mm.
I'm to the point now where I'm thinking he'll say anything out of his mouth just to make it sound good. And
Okay,
that's
is
a
it the voice?
problem to me.
Is it the voice or the body language? Like Pop was talking about. Is it the body language? Pop knocked that
It's
out
the
the
body
park.
language.
Gotta
It's the
watch
body
these
language.
jokers' body language, y'all. You got to watch
Hmm.
how they come out. You got to listen to what they say and how they say it. Watch these modes. The tone has changed, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
Check this out. Most optimistic man on God's green earth. Here we go.
Quick circuit, and then finish off with the incline walk. So it was good. Sweaty one. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Been around a lot of football, a lot of evaluated a lot of players, more than a handful probably from Nick Saban to Alabama. What about his system, these guys have an edge or this helps him out when he comes to the league?
It feels like they play a lot of football. So I don't know how they get it done, and I don't know what the rules are and all that. But the Alabama product feels like those guys play a lot of ball. You get a really polished product, and there's a toughness to them. It feels like they know what they're there for is to play ball. So there aren't a lot of questions asked about what you're asking them to do. They show up and they do what they're asked. They know it's their job and they take pride in it. So that's kind of the guys that have been around, whether it's in Seattle, Tampa, or now here from Alabama. Yeah. No plan to fix Bryce Young. I think for me, it's about building an offense that we can be proud of, something that is tough, something that is smart, that takes care of the football. Number one, we got to create more explosives, and then of course we have to minimize damage with exotic pressures and things like that. So I think just elevating the whole group, and really asking Bryce to just do his part, and that kind of.
Now I'm stopping that shit right there. Did y'all see his facial expression on how he was overthinking that question? That tells me right there he's more prone to lying. You get what I'm saying? He sat there and he said, "We got no plan for him. We're just gonna ask him to do his part, essentially." Now be mindful, if you look at his face and his eyes, he was like, "I got to figure out something that I can say that'll be appeasing in this moment." It doesn't seem like you could tell when somebody answers you genuinely. Hey, Goat, how was your day today, brother?
Man, I took a nap. I had to drive all night. Boy, I been all in it.
You see? Genuine answer. Pop, do you believe that Bryce Young is the long term answer for the Carolina Panthers in 10 years?
No, no, because no coach should come out and say we got to come out with exotic pressures for a QB. That's weird. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He's not committed, man. Exotic
I
pressures. That's just
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
It depend. It
So
depend. I'm not trying to step on this, but it depend. The question. What was the question asked again, Q, to him? What was that specific question just asked to him? Because a lot of people didn't hear it because, like you said, the
they
question that was answered you can't hardly hear.
okay, so they asked what is needed to fix Bryce Young, and he said he doesn't believe a big fix is needed for Bryce Young. Rather, he said the goal is building an offense that we can be proud of, elevating the whole group, and asking Bryce to do his part. That's what he said verbatim. I
Do
got the
y'all
nigga in
understand
4K
why they
saying it.
said the question was asked, what would it be to fix Bryce Young? As if Bryce Young needed to be fixed. You understand what I'm saying? So somebody believes that somebody out here, whether it's the media, whether it's this, whether it's 2-15 record, believes that Bryce Young needs to be fixed. Correct? If
Yes,
you're gonna
sir.
ask that question, it's a overwhelming idea that Bryce Young needs to be fixed. So if that's the idea, and Canales knows it, Morgan knows it, Tepper knows it, Panther Nation knows it. So
Mm-hmm.
if this was my guy, if I'm committed, oh, Bryce doesn't need to be fixed. We just need to
Mm-hmm.
fix the offense. We need to fix the this and that. That's what should have been said. Like you were alluding to, Q, when the question should have when
Mm-hmm.
the answer should have snapped out like that right there. Bryce is our guy. Bryce does not need to be fixed. Bryce needs blah 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 blah
He
blah.
should have
Bryce
definitively stood up and
Bryce
say, "Fix,
Thank you.
fix what?
That's what I'm saying.
Our
fix
guy is
what?
already here. He is
Huh?
the future. He's our franchise guy."
Boom.
He should have definitively
Now,
spoke with the two things
Yeah.
that we
mhm.
call nuts.
What you talking about? Yeah. Ain't nobody
But
fix who?
go in the press conference. He said that he was a franchise quarterback. Saying it now.
Exactly.
That,
Exactly. Shit changed
exactly
up in 3
Mundo.
weeks, ain't it?
Exactly Mundo. That's what I'm saying. The tone has changed. The tone has
Mm-hmm.
changed. Part one
That's
of
why
the
I say,
combine, y'all. Part one
He
of the combine.
seems like a bullshitter. And he's very good at saying what's popular. But like I said, I'm reserving my right. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna give this cat a chance. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is everything I've heard out of his mouth, he seems like an extreme opportunist. And you got to be
Yeah.
careful with guys that put themselves in position. They're selfish guys. This cat right here said,
Yeah.
think about what him and Dan Morgan said 2 or 3 years. Basically, they went into plan with Tepper and say, shit, ain't no fucking plan for this year. We let that shit play out. We build a team in the meanwhile, and basically we go all in on Bryce. We'll back Bryce 1,000% until we can't back up no more, and we'll let his play
Yeah.
dictate what the plan is for him. I'm
For,
just
for,
saying.
for the press conference, all they say, we need 2 or 3 dogs in here, and we get ready to play ball, and we gonna win this division. That was for the press conference, for the introductory press conference. Ain't that's what you got from that, Q?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you think, Pop? We get 2 or 3 dogs in here. We do this, we do that. Hey, we competing.
Yeah.
Now the tone changed. Now the tone
Hmm.
changed. 2 3 years now. 2 3 years now. Fix Bryce Young now.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I love the direction that we headed in because whether they fix him or not, they're looking to build this entire team. Because you keep hearing what they're saying. When it's not just Bryce, we got to fix this team completely. So basically, they deflected the answer and saying, "We just trying to build this team. We ain't think about this cat. We're gonna move forward, and what we're gonna try to do is his players gonna dictate whether he stay here or not." Now, if we don't get it right this year, we're going right back in that draft. Unfortunately, I hope y'all understand that because we'll have a pick, a first round pick that we can go back in the draft this year. We gave him 2 years. So, hey, it is what it is. We're going to fix this
I
offensive line. Go ahead.
I agree with Andy Ryder. Is that his name? Is that what I'm saying? Uh, my bad. Rob Ryder. He said they basically saying he's going to install a real offensive scheme. Yeah, he is. He's gonna have a scheme that Bryce should be able to run. But if Bryce doesn't get it, then it's on Bryce. That's what we're trying to say. He's not saying he's not talking in the same tone he was from his opening meeting with the press when he got announced as the head coach. You talking about he's a franchise quarterback, but now he's like, well, you know, up to the fence. We're gonna have to put a lot of things around him and just have him do his job. We got to come up with exotic pressures. Like nobody says that when they're talking about their quarterback. Never heard anybody say exotic pressures. So that's why I'm telling you, he's done did some studying of Bryce. He'll say it later on in this press conference that he's gonna come up with a package that he's gonna give Bryce in the next couple of days for him to look at.
Yeah. You know what, Pop? You hit that on the head when when nobody says stuff like that out loud. He's saying a lot by not saying a lot. You get what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
I'm a-
And notice he's not as polished now. This guy's green as wood now. Don't forget that, y'all. He's had
yeah,
press conferences and stuff like that, but how long has he been doing press? He's a 1 year coordinator, and then he was a what was he in Seattle? Was he a quarterbacks coach or was he a
quarterback
passing
coach.
game
Yeah.
coordinator or something like that? Or what? So he wasn't right
Hmm.
there taking them questions on like that right there. Like, look at him now. Look at what he's doing right now. He's leading the combine questions on front row center stage. So they throw questions at him, he gonna slip. He gonna slip like Rue did.
Yes, sir. Look, y'all already see what time it is. We just got through a couple of the videos. I didn't even play them, but the first minute of Canales because there's no need for me to even go any further. I have body language and what verbiage that I got from him already spoke volumes for me. Link in the chat, y'all. Y'all already see what time it is. If y'all feel a little bit passionate, if y'all feel we right, y'all feel we wrong, talk to us, man. Let's see what way. Y'all swaying on this, man. Talk to us and let us know how you feel. What's happening, Mike?
Yo, my
What up
man,
with you, Mike?
damn, what, what's good, man?
What's
I
happening,
Alright.
was
man?
listening.
Mike,
I was.
real quick,
I,
guys.
what,
I'm gonna
what
go
you,
ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and head off, man, because I ain't feeling that great. But I appreciate chilling with y'all guys, and I catch y'all later.
All
all
right,
right,
man. Get
Pat.
Alright.
better. Get well soon, doc.
All right, y'all.
All right.
So, like, Dan Morgan. All right, y'all remember back? It was some episodes ago, and I said, what if the man Dan Morgan was sitting in the trenches where Scott Fitter was making those decisions, and he was like, I wouldn't do that if I was the head man.
Uh huh.
Dan Morgan said there in his press that he was like, it's a difference when you're the person in charge making the final decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think people overlook how he wasn't trying to throw a job at Scott, but he did. He tried to clean it up, talking about we still friends to this day, appreciate everything he
Mm-hmm.
taught me. What the fuck ever, my nigga. What you said was clear as day. He was like,
Jab.
nigga,
You hit
I've
something,
been
Mike. You hit
seeing.
something. You own something. You own
He
that.
said,
Be careful. Like they tell you in church. Be careful.
no, I'm gonna go off the cliff every time. He said clear as day. He was like, look, Scott, you've been fucking up for years and I've been having to watch this shit. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
difference when you the final man making decision and you ain't gotta
Yeah.
tell a nigga what to do and he ain't gonna listen. Another thing that he mentioned that was very, very fucking clear. One thing I'm gonna say about Dan ain't fucking playing. Now, how you know he's not playing? It's just like that press conference when he started talking about all the guys that was no longer on the team, giving a shout out to the former players. He said, we'll franchise Brian Burns if we have to. Y'all took it as he was saying Brian Burns might not be here.
Mm-hmm.
What he was saying was, I would like to get a long term deal. Matter of fact, I'm about to talk to his agent right now. But if we have to, I'm tagging this motherfucker.
And though,
Brian
Mike, did
Burns,
you catch something else? Did you catch something else he said?
what does he
Going
say?
like going back to like a icky. He done said, okay, I had conversations with these guys. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, he had to exit conversations and stuff like that. But like we just said, in a span of 3 weeks, this tone has changed. So let's say I had a conversation with Icky, Dan being a former player saying, "Hey, bro, I've been looking at this thing right here, and I'm hearing what they're saying. You need to move the guard. You need to do this, whatever." Dead that, because he addressed it. Just like Mick, you said, he addressed it. Why did he address that? He said, "Hey man, I done played ball. I done seen this. I know what the hell I'm looking at." And they should have gave that boy some help. Sitting out there on the island, wide 9 stances, wide 5 stances, and stuff like that. You can't guard that. People going inside and out. Poor guard play. We gonna fix it. He addressed that. You got to talk about why he specifically addressed. Don't go out there and reach for nothing that ain't there. Talking about, did he say anything about Shaq Thompson?
Look,
Why the heck you
look,
gonna read this thing? You know what I'm saying?
Not at
Talk
all.
about Shaq Thompson. He talked
Mm-hmm.
about Brian Burns, Frankie Louisville, Icky, Doug
fact.
Brown.
Now look, and the reason why I respect what he said
That's
about Icky, because the nigga said he's only 23.
Yeah, yeah,
Y'all,
yeah.
y'all,
bam.
There it is.
There you go, Mike. There you
he
go.
was like, y'all
You
talking
ain't
like a
got to
nigga like
read.
29, 30, 31.
Yes,
The nigga's only 23. I'm
Well,
preacher.
not giving up on the potential of a player that's only 23.
Mike,
Thank
they
you.
were trying to move the boy to guard. They were trying to move the guy to tackle and all from tackle and all that stuff. He only 23 years old, bro.
Do
So,
y'all
Mike,
remember when
what do you think
do
he's
y'all
gonna say
remember
about a 25-year-old edge rusher? What do you think?
he
What do you think he's gonna say about a
exactly.
25-year-old?
He only 25.
Come on,
Look,
man. Come
look,
on, y'all.
Larry Tunsil, when he first came in, when he was first drafted, Larry Tunsil was not that good, if you remember. It took him a years before Larry Tunsil came to be the guy that wouldn't allow a sack in a season or only allow one. People got to understand, these guards were so bad this year because Icky only had 6 sacks allowed his second year playing football. People don't remember that. Like, hold up. Is this his second or third year? This
Second
year
year.
coming is okay. So his
It,
third. So
yeah, he
so his,
going into his third.
so his rookie year, he only allowed 6 sacks. Let me say
91%.
that one more. Let me say
91%
that.
PFL.
Let me say that one more time for the niggas in the back. His rookie year, he only allowed 6 sacks. Why would he have so many more this year? I don't fucking know. Maybe it's because he had to do double the work because he had no guard on the other side of him.
Yes,
People
sir.
gotta. It's hard when basically what happens is when you playing left tackle and you don't
You
have
giving
a guard
excuses.
beside you.
You giving
It's
excuses
two
now,
on
Mike.
one every fucking play.
They say you giving excuses, Mike.
Look, that that
If I
that
can
that
say
shit
something,
should be. Oh, go ahead, be good. My bad, Bubba.
hey, oh, you good? Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
good. What's
Appreciate you.
going
I'm
on?
not much, just chilling. I mean, I heard a lot of people blame Icky, but like old buddy said, I think it was cause of scheme and because they knew. I mean, when Bryce was playing quarterback, they knew they couldn't pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like they knew he can't pass the ball 20 yards downfield. So, only thing teams really had to do was stop the run. They knew the game was over. And like I said, all the injuries on the line, you can't keep blaming one person if the whole line is this ruined. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
And let's take it another level. If they know what you're doing all season long, know what you're doing, because it was evident that Bryce didn't have it. Any defensive coordinator that saw Bryce Young knew that it was time to eat. Like
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
you can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't say that enough because when you have a quarterback that's averaging 180 yards per game. Let's take out that one phenomenal game he had in Green Bay where he had over 300 for the first time. That's the only game. We're going to take that outlier out there. You put the rest of the games together. He's averaging 180-yard passing. What the fuck is anybody going to do? And when you have two guards that not, it's like having 3 versus 5 every game. That's how bad our guard play was this year. It was three
Mm-hmm.
on the offensive line versus whoever defensive line that was coming. There's no way you can win in those stipulations because Bradley Bozeman, he look, a year ago, Bradley Bozeman was the number one player that everybody on the offensive line was screaming that we needed to resign.
Mm-hmm.
The man didn't fall off a cliff. It just there
That's
was no help there.
that's
People
what they act like, Mike.
people you when you gotta understand when you don't have a guard, two different guards. I mean, I haven't seen Tom Brady be effective without guards. Like I remember Drew Brees going through his worst seasons when he didn't have good offensive guards. It's the
Mm-hmm.
fact of the matter when you don't have guards there. There's double teams on the left tackle. There's double teams on the right tackle. The center's left on the island. There's nothing you can do to stop anything. And I
I
don't.
mean, the pro.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, the problem is a lot of people, and I be listening to a lot of podcasts, not just Panthers, a lot of people that just don't understand football when it comes
Yes,
down to
sir.
those principles. So when you trying to explain stuff like that, they truly don't understand. I went on a podcast last Friday, not to say no names, I had a good time with them. A lot of them disagreed
Mm-hmm.
with what I was saying, but they was ultimately agreeing what I was saying too. That just, I guess they just didn't like how I was phrasing it, but it's just I see this thing. It's got a lot of holes and stuff. I, it's just like I said, when it comes to football, I'm not saying you have to learn how to, you know what I'm saying, to play the game, to know the game, but a lot of these guys will just be shouting out things and stuff, like you said, turning a tackle to a guard, saying he don't have quick enough feet. But I mean, but if you look at the guard getting blown up, I mean, why would you move your tackle to guard if you already see your guard getting blown up? You know what I mean? That don't make sense to
Yes, sir.
Fact it don't, because then who's the
Well,
look? The concept is my fault. Q, go ahead.
well, I was gonna get Rail incorporated a little bit because I see you right there. Rail, talk to us, man, and put your 2 cents in.
Hey, first of all, I know it's been a while. I'm glad to be back.
Welcome
Um,
back, Bubba.
Second of all, y'all is right, but I would admit one thing. Sometimes slotting in an offensive tackle to offensive guard, sometimes it helps. So,
Ah,
case
ah, 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 ah.
what?
Dan Morgan said today he will be a left tackle. He is excited about him being left tackle. I don't want to hear that guard shit today. I don't want to hear that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was
I
on.
don't. I know you know it. I don't want to hear
That's
that guard
cool.
shit today.
No, that's cool. I didn't know. I walked into it. Like I said, I was in a 4-hour meeting today. I
Yes,
didn't know
sir.
what the
You
fuck was
walk
going
your
on.
black ass right up into that one. I just said before you got on the link, I played the video of Dan Morgan's answering the questions of Ike Ekwano. He said, we got to fix this offensive line. He said, Ike is very good at tackle. We're going to leave him at tackle going forward. He addressed that today.
All right, so you believe
So
in Dan Morgan now?
come
I
on,
do.
man. Why you got
Can
to
a
do
true
me like
fan
this,
No,
live?
no, no,
man?
no. I'm gonna do it. I do. Let me
You
tell you
ain't
why I
shit.
do.
You ain't
Let me tell
shit,
you.
boy.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I believe in Dan Morgan today. Because
Okay.
Dan Morgan, unlike previous GMs that I've seen when they take over a team, Dan Morgan was brutally fucking honest. If you
Mm,
read between the lines, he
mm,
said many times, "This team ain't shit."
mm. You know what's
He
crazy?
said, "Let me tell you why." Because first of all, the first thing he said that got me happy when he said, "We gonna take the best player available
Mm,
unless the need player is on the same level of the best player available." What he's
mm,
saying in translation of that, he's saying, "Ain't none of you niggas good enough."
mm.
So if there's a nigga that's better in the draft and I think you can be on the field, I'm taking that nigga over you because ain't none of y'all good enough right now.
I'm a,
Yes, sir.
I'm a, I'm a rewind back to about a month ago when Dan Morgan got hired, and
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
niggas, no, I need y'all to repent for y'all sins, cause y'all niggas crucified the fuck out of me. Cause I said, hey, Dan Morgan is a proven All Pro player, a
My
proven
brother,
scout,
my
and a
brother, I
proven.
wasn't there. I wasn't there when they was doing that to you. I would have had your back.
I mean,
Look,
I'm a little
everybody
biased because
calling
he went to
in
the
got
University of
they got on
Miami.
your ass. The boy
They,
did get on your ass now.
I'm just saying, like, I like I said, I might be biased because he went to the University of Miami, but like I said, Dan Morgan, he scouted a lot at Carolina North, which is Buffalo, and in Seattle. If anybody who got this shit job, it would be Dan Morgan, who I would have the most faith in. You got to think,
Mm,
we can't get a home run. We got settle for singles and doubles. So if Dan
here we
Morgan
go.
said that, shit. I mean, also got to think, Panthers legends and current Panther players, they wanted Dan Morgan to be in that position. So people in that room, in that building, they wanted Dan Morgan. I know there's a lot
So
going on because he was, the second in command to Fitterer, but it was documented. A lot of people said that Dan Morgan was uh, opposite of what Fitterer wanted to do. And
mm-hmm.
that right there, okay with
What
me.
Rail? We know Federer was a do boy. So
Uh
you
huh.
got to have some type of backbone as a GM because you got position coaches want this, you got head coaches want that, you got the owner wanting this, you got the money man saying he ain't got no money, do this and do that. You got a lot of voices in your ear. Federer didn't have no backbone. So if
Right.
Morgan got a little bit more backbone than Federer had, y'all, what I'm telling y'all, we'll be better. I ain't jumping out there and saying we're gonna be all right. He the savior. We're gonna be better.
And
We'll get
let's be
better
clear.
talent. Yeah.
And let me
Well,
tell you,
real. Oh,
And let's be
go
clear.
ahead,
The
Mike.
jury, the jury's still out on
The,
Dan Morgan. We won't.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I said. That's why I
the
just said
jury's
what I
supposed to
said,
be
man.
out.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
jury's
I'm
supposed
not
to be
saying that we're
out.
gonna be fixed or nothing like that. The jury is still out. That's a good way of putting it. The jury is still out. You
Draft and
exactly
free
right.
agency will tell us everything. Draft and free agency will tell us what we do with Burns. If we resign him, I'm cool with, and if we trade him, I'm cool with. But what we
Well,
get back in that trade, that will tell everything.
There
well,
you go.
Real, he got up there and talked a little bit today, and he said basically with Burns, we're gonna try to in a nutshell, we're gonna try to re-sign him, but in a nutshell, we got to do what we got to do. And when he spoke about Frankie Louvu, the cat said, "Oh, we love Louvu. We want to get everything signed with him. We think he's a really good player. We want to bring him back in." He gushing about Frankie Louvu. The
I'm gonna tell you
motherfucker
why.
had reservations about Brian Burns. Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna tell
Mike.
you why, Q. I'm gonna tell you why, Q.
Huh?
Because he's thinking in their head about that money that Brian Burns want, and he don't want
Money,
to say publicly that nigga, I'm not trying to pay you that much. I'll franchise tag your ass before I pay you that much. He can't sit out in public. He gotta act like he gonna go in the negotiation room and go back and forth with this motherfucker that's his
yeah.
agent. Yeah, yeah, we gonna negotiate. We gonna do this. But when he said when they asked, would you franchise tag Brian Burns? He didn't hesitate. He was like, we'll tag him if that's
Yeah.
necessary. We'll franchise tag him because
No,
he
make
was like,
no
I
ifs
ain't
or ands
letting.
about it. He's a talent. He's a talent.
Yeah,
He's a talent. It's
he
all
said,
about the
yeah,
money.
he said, we'll tag him. Yeah, we'll tag him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to be the case. I would like a long-term deal to be done. But if we have to, I'm going to tag this nigga because he ain't walking for free.
He ain't walking. He ain't walking.
Uh,
He's a
Also,
Well,
talent.
don't get your hopes up for Louvu. I mean, I know he gushing about Louvu because they both off ball linebackers, but you got to understand, and I know a lot of niggas probably about to fight me for this. Running
uh-oh.
backs, just like off ball linebackers, you don't overpay for them. That's
Well,
not a premium position.
it's only. So let me ask you a question. 9 to 11 million. Are you okay per year for Luvu? Nine, but anywhere between 9 to 11 million.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm
I
cool
say
with 11.
9.
I'm
And
cool
that's
with
all
11.
it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
run. And that's what it's
That's
gonna
all it's
run.
gonna run for him,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what it's
I'm
gonna
cool with
That's
run.
that. Run
all.
that
They
back.
not see when you
Give
they
him a
can down there give
3 year,
you a
$33
definite.
million dollar. Go ahead, go.
Yeah, they can down there give you a definite when you talking about that type of money. But see, when you talking about the 30, the 27 mil that Brian's gonna command, it's
Yeah.
because we don't have it. That's the only reason why, y'all. We don't
Yeah,
have it. Until we
it's
got
not
this
the
30
fact.
million right here.
Nah, go. I don't think it's the fact that we don't have it. It's the fact if we don't have it, there's no other move that can be made besides Frankie Louvu. I think that's the
Exactly.
problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
If
Mike.
you sign Brian Burns for the money that Brian Burns want,
Okay.
and then you
Check this out.
re-sign Frankie Louvu, now you got an EBT card.
But check this out, Mike. Check this,
The
Mike.
cap went
Okay.
up, right?
So if they had, yeah, the cap went up.
Yes, sir.
But say
About
this
thirty
right here,
point
Mike.
six mil.
Let's say if they had 80, $90 million laying out there. Do you even think we'd be having this conversation right now?
It won't be close to a conversation. The deal would have been done
Thank you.
already. It
That's
wouldn't be,
what I'm saying. So it's
and
about
that's
the
why
money.
I think the tag is the issue because what he's trying to tell Brian Burns is, look, I need you to have some fucking faith, my nigga. I know you don't want to sign the tag, but there's a lot more money next year, and I can get you the bag that you want,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I need patience. And Brian Burns
Yeah,
is saying,
when you trust
nigga, I can get
Nah, you can't
27
trust
million
nobody.
somewhere else.
yeah, just trust me. Trust me. Hold on. Yeah.
So
I would.
real quick. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say if I'm Brian Burns, I wouldn't trust him either. You can't ask somebody to have faith. You know what I'm saying? Not on that. Not with your money.
Mm-hmm.
Of
So I
course,
mean, you'll be a fool to
of course
do
not.
something like that.
That's why it's a negotiation, and that's why Dan Morgan like, look, nigga, Dan Morgan he's saying that like a street nigga, but he's doing it in a white version. He's saying, nigga, don't make me tag you.
Also, you
So
gotta
I
think.
Mike.
mean,
Also, you gotta think. Dan Morgan ain't over the numbers. He's identifying the players, of what he want and the culture of what he want, the alphas, and he's saying, the other guy, I forgot his name. He's saying, hey, can we fit
Tillis.
this? Yeah, can we fit these numbers in? Yeah, but like I said, don't be Carolina Panthers fans. Don't be surprised if you see Brian Burns in a Commodores Commanders uniform, a Bears uniform next year. And I'm telling you, we get a second round off that.
Look at here.
We
So
ain't gonna get
I
no
got
first
all you
rounder.
guys. I got all you guys right here. Give me your opinions on David Tepper raising the Panthers ticket prices by 4% after a 2-15 loss record in 2023. How y'all feel about we getting worse, but the ticket prices getting higher?
I think he should.
Economics.
I think this nigga need a therapist. I think he needs something to really evaluate his psychological mind, because for you to give us the bullshit you gave us on the field and then demand more fucking money, it only shows that you can only be using cocaine or methamphetamine or you have mental issues.
I think it's strictly
Okay.
business because you got to think you get your annual raise about 3 to 5%. So for prices for everything else to go up in a year 3 to 4%, that's normal. Now if it was a winning year, it probably the numbers probably would have went up about 10, 15%. So I think that's about average. So it went up with like the cost of living. So let's think of this as a cost of living adjustment. That's just business.
Hmm.
Okay.
Where
Nah,
you
I'm scared
stand?
he's trying
Where
to
you standing on business?
all right.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
scared
Go
he's
ahead,
trying to
BB.
do something crazy. I'm scared because I seen Justin Jefferson in the thing or the market getting traded. I'm scared since he's upping the price, he may try to do something crazy. You know what I mean? With that,
Hmm.
if that makes
Wh-
Nah,
sense, because I'm assuming he wants offense here. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He done hired the last two offensive guys. So I'm scared he's gonna try to do something drastic where he feel
He,
like he can sell tickets.
he can't afford it. He can't.
yeah, he
Like,
can't.
he can do
Yeah,
shit outside the motherfucking building, but he can't do shit with that salary cap. That
yeah, he
salary
can't do
cap,
No,
nothing.
it's a
I'm
hard
talking
cap.
about with the prices and stuff. I'm scared since he raised it, even though I don't think he should have. I know when it comes to the economy, that's what, like you say, he's supposed to do. But I'm scared he's gonna end up trying to bring somebody here with a tab with Burns. So it looked like, oh, okay, the next big thing, like when he brought Dan Morgan as the GM, try to have the next flashy thing, then people will come for that. You get what I'm saying?
But, but what would the flashy thing be?
Like I said, I'm scared he may be looking into that Justin Jefferson thing. Be
See,
honest
that's what
with
I
you.
was saying. He can't afford Justin Jefferson.
You trying to say because right now Bryce Young is a guy. You trying to say he wouldn't give up Burns for a tag and trade with a second and a next first round couple
He
of picks
damn.
just to
You
try to
right.
prove Bryce
He'll
Young the
do
guy?
it. He damn sure
And
will do it.
if he did some
I mean,
shit like that,
for us, we know it ain't football sense, but for him, he's looking at it as a financial. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm scared of. What he's trying to do. I'm not saying he will or won't, but I'm just scared. Like, hey, it's David Tepper, and he doesn't want Bryce to be. He wants to be known. Oh, I drafted Bryce. Bryce was the guy actually by bringing a whole bunch of talent in. I'm just
if
nervous about that whole situation right there. That's all I'm saying.
if Dan Morgan allowed him to do some dumb shit like that,
Well, I go back to what Real said. It's a straight stand on business because y'all got to realize that PSL owners and people like that were selling these tickets for like 45 cents. This and that, trying to create a message, trying to send a message, and now you discrediting my product. You bringing it down. So I
There it
how
got to
you
is.
raise the
discredit his
price.
product
You know what I'm
when
saying?
you had to give away
Well, yeah,
tickets
yeah,
for
he did
40
that.
something
But
cents?
Yeah,
You
but
did this
exactly,
to
he
us.
fucked up
exactly.
when he went and he picked the quarterback and he kept meddling and shit like that. And now you
Mm,
gonna meddle and you go out here and tell us I'm gonna increase ticket prices because I fucked the team up? Come
Yeah,
on, bro.
Mike,
nigga. Yeah, nigga, you
Mike,
did this
Mike,
to
go back
us.
to the streets, Mike. Go back to the streets, Mike. You can't step on my product. You know what I'm saying? Keep my name on it. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you,
Yes,
but
sir.
Sell
look,
blue magic with all that
nigga, yeah, but
baby lacquers
see,
in it.
I understand. He want to call it red magic. Stomp want to call it blue dog shit, but it's not Black
Yeah,
Panther. It's not
it's
keep
not.
pounding
Yeah,
nation. You ain't fooling
yeah, yeah.
nobody
It's
that's
not
been
Carolina
here.
Panther.
You ain't fooling nobody. Like, all right, I'm gonna say this to the nigga a bit. I watched a replay of that Carolina Panther versus the Patriots Super Bowl. And nigga, I got chills. Because you know what I mean? I wanted to remind myself how hard Dan Morgan went in that game. And I'm looking at this shit, and I ain't never been so hyped in my life just to realize that it's gonna be a long time before we get there again.
I don't think
Yes.
so.
Me
I
too.
don't think so. If people got failed to realize, Dan Morgan was Luke Kuechly before Luke Kuechly.
I wouldn't say all that now.
Now,
Nah,
now
he
Dude
listen,
wasn't
was
that
now
good.
good.
listen,
Now,
now
He
listen.
He
was
wasn't
good,
that
but
good.
Luke
Good.
Kuechly, seven-time
Good.
All-Pro Defensive Player of the
Yes.
Year.
Yeah,
Hey, come
okay,
on
But no
now, put some
okay,
Luke
respect
okay.
on his
Kuechly.
name.
Yeah,
concussions,
he was
Listen,
no Luke Kuechly
concussions
now.
aside, concussions aside, go. Come on, go.
Uh-uh.
You the
Only
okay,
OG
thing
no,
they
no, no.
got
We're
in
not doing
common
that.
I
is
know
them
We're
Luke
not
both,
doing
Kuechly
both of
that.
them
now.
boys the
We're not
same
doing
I'm
that.
skin color.
sorry. I'm
That's the
sorry,
only
No,
thing they
Mel.
got in common.
listen. This is what I'm gonna say. Real. I'm gonna
I'm
say this real.
sorry,
It's
Mel.
it's it's not that I won't say that he was the Luke. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna take a long time. But I appreciate Dan Morgan being honest. That's something that I didn't get from Scott. Dan Morgan, thank you. Dan Morgan was honest. Dan Morgan said, "Look, this is gonna be at least a 2 to 3 year project." He didn't.
Yeah,
He
you
didn't
never
give
Hey,
us
heard Scott
false
say that.
hope.
I think he meant to say 5 to 7, depending on the on how they draft. To be honest with
And see, I feel when he said it's gonna be a 2 to 3 year project, he was being real. He wasn't saying like, "Yo, this next year we're gonna be better. We're gonna be trying to compete for the
Mm-hmm.
division and none of this
Mm-hmm.
bullshit." He already know, just like we've been saying. Next year we getting our ass handed to us. He saw the
Yeah.
same schedule we saw.
Mike, think about it, Mike. Think about it, Mike. Your leading slot receiver just told you the lie that he was fed coming in here. That's what they were selling last year, y'all. That's what y'all got to understand. They sold it to Adam Thielen and they sold it to everybody else. That's why they were sold it. Oh, come next year, we competing for championships. That's what that man told you out his mouth. But
And
Dan didn't say that today.
had them believe in the hype. Had them believe it. Nigga,
Got
I
it.
believed it too. I thought we was gonna win the damn division. Then all of
I
a
try to
sudden,
tell you. I try to tell you.
you did
Yeah.
Q, and I ain't listen to Q. And I was mad at myself because I ain't listen to Q. And I was in jail and shit in a cell watching this bullshit, mad as a mother. Listen, let me tell you the truth. When it came to Dan Morgan, when he said we going after the best player available, unless it's the point of need of someone we need that's on the same level. When he turned around and he said that I want to keep Brian Burns and tagging was an option. When he said it's going to be 2 to 3 year program. When he said everything that we need more dogs in here. He's been hounding it the whole time he's been here. We ain't got enough dogs. We don't got
Mm-hmm.
enough this. We need depth at every player. He's been like he keeps reiterating. This is not a quick fix.
Mike, Mike, do you realize out of the 21 slated free agents, about 17, 18 of them are defensive? That
Yo,
means to everybody that think that they're going to be staying around, is there ever going to have a clean slate to go out in this free agency, in this draft, to pick who he wants on his defense? I don't even think people are even thinking about that. He
no,
just
no.
had to use Frank Wright's leftovers and got you a number three defense. Imagine what this cat does with an actual team he builds in his image.
Oh yeah, he going grocery shopping.
Hmm.
He got the basket right now, and
Yeah.
that's why when people say if we tag Brian Burns, we should trade him. I say, depending on what's on the table, I agree. And let me explain why. Because for that money to free up, the boy that you put up just yesterday, Q, he be in the basket.
Yep.
Frankie Louvu will stay in the basket. He can go
Mm-hmm.
through and get more. Elvero can go shopping for his defense, and he might not give us another Brian Burns, but let's be real. There wasn't a Brian Burns on the Denver Broncos when they were shutting down people. There wasn't. There was no Brian Burns. There was a Roquan Smith, but no. Roquan Smith, that's from Chicago. Who it was Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb was in Denver the year that they ranked so high in the defense, but people don't know Bradley Chubb was injured most of that year. But they
But guess
still
what?
was.
They shipped that nigga right on out of the door too. So
Mm-hmm.
he's saying the lack of talent, he can make it happen with whoever. So
And
I'm scared.
so like you said it on the nail. I was thinking about it when I was at work last night, Q. When you said that you trusted Evero like you trusted somebody in your house.
Yes, sir.
I said that nigga Q on to something. And I was like, if we didn't keep Brian Burns because of we decide to tag him and trade him, as long as we won't give it the nigga away for free. Like somebody just made in the comment that we could trade him for maybe the Ravens first round pick because it's at the end of the round. I wouldn't be mad about that. I'll be mad because we didn't get two first round picks when we had a chance. But I would let that shit go because I would like, what are we gonna do for Evero in free agency? Are we giving him? Because it sounds like he's gonna give Evero full cleans to the defense, and he ain't gonna touch shit. He gonna let Evero do his shit,
Yes, sir.
and as long
Think
as he's
about it,
gonna do
Mike.
that, I'm cool.
Think about it, Mike. We have not seen an off season where we had this many free agents on one side of the football. So people are looking at this saying, yeah, the offensive side of the ball needs to be built. What did Canales say in that interview today?
He
It's Jero
worked with what
Evero.
they had.
Works with what they have. As Jero Evero is the guy. And so much, Canales was saying, he even broke it down. He said last year we played a Zero Evero. Excuse me. He snubbed me. He stopped me. There was nothing that I can do. He basically said, I know I'll be successful as long as Jero Evero is on that side of the football.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what your head coach is saying, this same cat that went out for the head coach position that I know is better than me, I know I can't win or succeed without him.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Y'all, you got to understand what he's trying to tell y'all. The key to success to the Carolina Panthers is not no damn offense. It's not this. It's that goddamn defense.
Mm-hmm.
You better make sure that defense firing at all cylinders to be able to give you
That's
playmakers.
our power. That's always been our power.
Uh huh.
That's keep pounding nation. That's
Even when
that's
Cam
that.
was here,
Yeah,
they
y'all
didn't
forget.
get what prolific weapons did we have all over except for him on the offense. And I'm
The
not
only thing
saying
we
that
have.
offense win games and this and that, but you have to get an offense, like y'all said, as long as our quarterback doesn't turn the ball over and stuff like that, defense keeps us in these games. And maybe we can go out there and get a tub or two and win a couple.
But
I
you
I
know
didn't
don't
know
see
what?
you
that
could get
happening.
the
Not
No, no,
same
this
no.
year.
way.
Listen though. But what I did like that Canales said was he talked about the run game. He talked about being stubborn when it comes to the run game.
Mm
Now, everybody knows I don't feel like we have the number one running back that we need in the building yet. I'm big on the old boy from Wisconsin. If we can draft him, I would love to see a power running back in that locker room because I think it's much needed. When he said being stubborn about the run game, and then he was honest about the fact that even at their best run game in Tampa, that wasn't enough. But he said he was going to be stubborn about the run, keeping the ball at the other people's hands. He was saying exactly. That's why I call myself a prophet because I said this earlier. I said we need a power back. We need to be running the ball. We need to focus on the defense. And then next year, let's look for a quarterback. Next year, let's try to see what we need to add to the offense. Because obviously, I don't know if you niggas is listening. My nigga
huh.
Dan Morgan and Dave Canales is listening. They on
Be
the
good.
Black Cat
Who?
podcast and they peeping what we talking about, Q.
I'm saying,
Uh huh. Be good. So you were just
yeah.
getting ready to say you don't see why you think that it's going to work. Go ahead and hit us up and tell us why you felt that way.
Okay. Like I found on last podcast, that sounds great and everything to do, and I think we should do it. But the problem with that is teams have film on Bryce Young now. They know he can't throw. You know what I'm saying? Deep. He throw them flutter balls. So every team
Ah,
that's
damn.
gonna play is gonna stack the box. Unless you have a Derrick Henry or a guy that can take those type of hits and stuff like that. Each running back we have gonna be hurt. That's the main problem. I'm not saying Bryce can't make. Well, yeah, I am. I am saying he can't make most throws. But the problem of it is, but the problem of that is like even if we ran the ball 30, 40 times, he's going to have to throw the ball at least 20 times, at least, 25 times. And looking at
But be
that,
good.
more than likely, we're going to be down.
Check this out. You have to first establish the run game. You have to first get it in the trenches. So you have to address this offensive line. Then, if you do address the backs, we was only getting 2.8 a clip last year. So nobody respected the run game in the first place. They got
Facts.
film on that too.
I mean,
Facts.
I agree with that point, but you're missing my point of saying even if we are to establish the run, certain teams are going to take that away from us. Once they
Hmm.
take that away from us, meaning stacking the box. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody here played football. We know when a quarterback ain't shit. Hey, stack the line. We're going to make them throw the beater. They're
Yes,
going
sir.
to do that.
And you
Beat you
know
when
So
you're
I'm
what?
not
wrong.
saying you're wrong on what you're thinking. I'm saying teams are teams are not going to be that stupid and oblivious to say, "Oh, we're just going to play them like a basic normal
No,
offense.
no,
We're going
no,
to
no,
stack the
Yeah,
B.
box."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I got
B.
you.
B. Understand my full comment of everything I said. I said, do the defense get the power run game? And I said, what? Next year, go get your quarterback. Because I'm here to tell you, I done told me and Goat was on a podcast I think weeks ago, and we went through the whole schedule. And Goat would tell you I sent maybe one or two W's for the whole season, if that. I don't see us improving from 2-15. I don't see it at all. So with that notion, I'm expecting for us to be in line for the first or the second pick of the draft next year.
I mean, I
I'll
agree
be
with
there.
it. And all football knowledge would say I agree with you, but we're dealing with Tepper. That's the problem. I'm not
But we
saying you wrong at all. I'm just saying he's going more like when I listen to other podcasts. They're going to try to give him 3 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. And like I said, the worst scenario we can have, Bryce shows he's just good enough not to be good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
I agree. I agree.
Damn.
He
Hey,
right. He
hey,
So
right.
Ralph.
that
He right.
that would be the
so
worst.
He
So
Ralph.
right.
meaning like I'm not saying him throwing 4,000 yards. I'm just saying instead of him throwing 27, let's just say he throws 33 to 3,500. Bare
Yep. You
minimum.
right, B.
We got
You right,
we got
B.
a stupid fan
Yeah.
base that's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah, we
sit there and
do.
say, see, he showed great improvement. We need to give him a couple more years. We
You
knowing
Mm-hmm.
right,
as
B.
football, you're not gonna be able to win with it. And people in their blind faith, wow, or hopeful thinking, that's why I call it hopeful thinking, saying, nah, we just gotta keep building the team. Then realizing after them 5, 7 years going by, yeah, we should have let him go. We should have brought somebody else in. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm kind of nervous about. I understand they're gonna try to protect Bryce Young by running the ball, which I'm fine with it. I'm just nervous that if he is like instead of him, like I said, throwing for this 3,100 yards, but he throws for 35, people gonna sit there and say, "Nah, give him another year." And
Give
after
him
that, they're
another
gonna
year.
give him another year.
Man, man,
Be
man, be
good.
good.
This way this where you don't want to be. Like you just said, you don't want to say the 27 that he had last year, and then he improved to 35, but then 35 is the ceiling. Then you start to get these other pieces around him. You let's just say you go get a guard, and then Brady Christian comes back and it's solidified, and then you get another D tackle. You end up getting Burns money right and this and that. Now we're good enough to be 11, 12. 13 somewhere sitting right there. Look at what y'all not doing now. You're not getting ready to upgrade that position. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now you got a guy that's hitting his head on the ceiling at 3,500 a year, something like that. You ain't gonna win with that. You ain't gonna
So
win.
I
so
mean,
I see
so
what B said.
That the Daniel Jones contract money.
There
no,
you
I
go,
think that's a
Rev.
Tua
No,
There
situation
you
right
go.
there.
no,
I call it
no,
the Tua
no,
situation.
no, no, fuck no. Hell no.
Well,
That's my
that's what you
well,
worst
about to get.
fucking
That's what
nightmare.
you about to get, Mike. That's what
There
you
No,
you
about to
go.
don't
get.
say that shit. Don't even put it in the motherfucking air.
Realistically, Mike, Real, be good, go. How many games y'all think we gonna win this year?
I just told you one or two.
maybe one.
I mean, it's any given day for football, so you can
No, it's
say
not.
screw it
You
there.
ain't seen the schedule. We getting fucked up.
I seen the schedule.
Listen,
I'm just saying it's any given day for football. I'm not
not with
saying
this
we're gonna
team.
be on a good. I'm not saying we have gonna have a good record. I'm just saying anybody can be beat on one day. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
Yeah, you
man.
right. He
Look,
right
man.
in a
Look,
sense. He
man.
right.
I
He right.
I hear it. I hear it. But if we win 2 games next year, I might throw a parade
Let me.
because it's that bad. It's that
But
because
Mike,
look, because the
I'm with you.
Mike,
quarterback ain't changing.
but Mike, any division game we have this year is one chance at winning any one of those games, and I'll put that. I'll be honest with you. For some reason, when it comes to the division, I think we have a chance to at least beat Atlanta one time. Even in 2-15 this year, we did that. We have a chance to go to New Orleans and at least get a win in Carolina. I mean, it's always a competitive game here in the division. So the shot is at least you can look at it and say, hey, we got at least 3 to 4 we could potentially get. That's about it.
That's you stretching. You fucking
I am.
stretching.
I
It's you
am.
stretching. It's 2 games maybe. And listen, I look when I look at the schedule and I looked at the process, and also I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it also depends on what Atlanta does for quarterback.
Yeah.
Because if the rumors have it, they're either after Justin Fields or Bo Nix. Either one is going to whoop our ass. Just want to point it out. It's going to happen. And if they get
Terry,
either one of them,
Timing too, Mike. Timing gonna play in. We don't know when the
Terry,
games is gonna be played right now, so timing is
no,
gonna
no, no,
play a role.
look, I don't give a damn if it's the first game of the year. If it's the first game of the year and Bo Nix is sitting at quarterback, I got full fucking confidence he gonna hand Bryce Young his ass.
Mm.
Atlanta GM already said he don't want Justin Fields. He said it don't fit Zach Robinson offense, which is crazy because I thought the offensive coordinator builds around the quarterback, but with the team now
Right?
that's
But
neither here nor
listen, look.
there.
If Desmond Ritter is there, we can split it 1-1. But if they get any form of upgrade at the motherfucking quarterback and we don't do shit to stop the run game, Atlanta is going to bust our ass 2 games.
I'm telling you right now, Atlanta they are swinging for Russell Wilson. I'm telling you that right now because Denver
Oh,
Denver already want Russell Wilson gone. So
oh,
Carolina
if they
getting one win, and I'm shaking my
no, we're
case for
not.
Quinn Ewers or Shador
Well,
Sanders.
I love
They
that.
get
I would
Russell
love that.
Wilson, we losing.
Yeah, we maybe get one win next year, maybe one.
Well, I'd love that for them to get Russell because that means that they giving me an open window because that ain't nothing but a 3-year deal at the max, and then they're
Exactly.
gonna be right back in the hunt again.
Oh,
So
that's
they
a
let,
lot.
let them let that team go to waste.
Yeah, sure. That's 3 years. We got to go through hell, but whatever you say, go.
Huh? That ain't gonna be hell. If we
I
do what we
mean,
if we stand on our business, that ain't hell. I'm just saying they gonna be right back at square in 3 years.
You
I
facts.
mean, they may draft a quarterback this year, meaning like if they pick up a veteran, just had their rookie just sit back and learn that that could be the worst scenario for.
Mm, I don't like that scenario. Let's not talk about that scenario. Let's talk about a different scenario. Okay. Because that one I don't like at all, nigga. Fuck that scenario. If they get Russell Wilson, let me tell you the thing about Russell Wilson that is, I don't think people are understanding. Russell Wilson, no matter what, is getting his money from Denver, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means he might not demand a high price on the next team he goes to. He might not say you got to break the bank for me if you give me the right kind of team around me.
He's like boys to men. Russ, as though I go to the end of the road. You understand what I'm saying? He know he at the end of the road. You understand what I'm saying? This is the last hurrah right here. If he carry his ass to Atlanta, you
I
understand what I'm
feel you,
saying?
but he
Because
getting
basically,
35 million from
I
Denver
don't care,
this year.
Mike. Look at what he did in Denver. All intents and purposes, that was a bust. That was a busted train, busted thing. What they tried to do, that was a bust. So this is it. That's it for him. This is it. He's had a career. He's got a Super Bowl. He's all right. He's gonna be all right. So
So,
let him go get Russell. I could care less about the Atlanta Falcons. Let him go get Russell. I hope they get him. And sit at number 8 with these quarterbacks that's in here and could potentially be that guy for the next 10 years. One of them guys. Let him
Go.
go get Russell.
I love you to death. Ain't nobody falling that 8 there. I'm building a franchise around.
Yeah.
wait,
Nobody ain't.
wait, you
Who?
wrong, you wrong,
Come
you
on now.
wrong, you wrong, you
Nobody
wrong.
Come
Cause
ain't.
on now.
I done
And
seen
I
in
call it
so
and
many,
he
I done
got 2
seen
letters in his name.
Williams
Bo.
going number 1. Daniels going number 2. Drake
JJ.
May going 3. I don't know about JJ. I don't know.
A JJ.
I
Man,
don't know.
no. Look, I'm
I
here to
don't know.
tell you. Y'all, look, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Bo Nix is that guy. I don't know what y'all looking at when it comes to football. I don't know if y'all ain't pay, y'all just don't like Oregon or some shit. But Bo Nix is that guy. And what's so bad is Atlanta could trade back and still get the nigga. Y'all better hope that white boy don't come to this goddamn division. Y'all sleeping on the wrong white boy. Fuck a
Bo Nix
Hey,
JJ.
is
Bo Nick,
Bo
28
Nick.
years old.
I
yeah,
don't
he's
give a
30
damn if he's
already.
37 years old. That nigga is a problem.
Hey,
I mean,
Dog,
he got there right after Cam Newton graduated, bro. You know what I'm saying? How much potential can you have? You know what I'm saying?
look, bro, you blowing smoke right now. You capping right now, and I'm being 100% serious. I am not bullshitting. I'm not. Look, I'll put some money on the line. What the fuck ever. Bo Nix is going to be a fucking problem.
I mean,
I've
I
said
don't know,
this
man.
about
I
several
mean, I'm not
quarterbacks.
saying he can't be, but dude, I swear he was playing in year 2017 at Auburn, right? Then he ended up transferring because of COVID and all
Yeah.
that. But I can,
And
he's
when
I
played a
know
lot
he
of
at
ball.
least
and
about
when
27,
You're
28.
right, B. He's played a lot of ball because just like I keep saying, you had the COVID year, and then they got what they call a waiver in the COVID year because they might have played 1 game or 2 games. They needed more tape. But this right here is being said, he's played a lot of ball. And when it's this the game of football is repetition, 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 repetition. When you get those reps, those needed reps out there, and you get your tape out there, and you start to get all types of stuff like that, you become a better football player because you've seen more. And
I
that's
mean,
the jump from
what,
college
what,
to the NFL.
what in
I
5
mean,
years?
I would
What we
say
a
that,
fifth
but the
year
problem of it
senior?
is he played in a Pac-10. Pac-10 don't have defense like that.
Okay, that
Also,
sounds really.
when he elevated his team with the talent he has around him, and he still didn't win against Washington twice.
I'm not saying he
Mm,
can't play. I'll
mm.
just say this. I remember him when I was
It's
in,
okay. That's
when
okay.
I was
You know
out
what?
here
You know
when
what? I see something very similar like this in the draft. His name was Justin Herbert. Okay, I seen something very fucking similar like this in the draft. You know what? Sleep on a nigga. Take a nap. I don't give
hey,
a fuck. Because when it happened,
I didn't have no problem with Justin Herbert. He was tall here and there. He could he could make any pass. I just remember the days when old buddy was playing with Auburn. He was just man, you know what I mean?
so
I
let me
can't
get this
let that
right.
go out of my head.
So let me get this right. You go to when the nigga first started his career and judge him on that instead of how he ended his career.
Yeah,
What
especially when you
that
started
And
there for like 2 or 3
he still
years
hasn't
and
won
go through another
anything,
4 years
though.
in another spot. Can we? Yeah.
So he played
okay.
6 years and he still hasn't won anything, though. So, like, why would I draft him? Why would I build a
Okay,
But
franchise
well,
but
around
but
him?
but
okay. All right, no, no, no,
real.
no. Okay.
Check this. Hold my 4,500 yards, real. 77% passer radius. He protects the football. He knows where to go with the football. He can play within the system. If you say the Falcons or any other team, you look at Purdy, who just took the team to a Super Bowl. If you play within a system, just like we were just talking about Bryce playing clean, if Bryce doesn't turn over the ball like he did this year right here, we probably have 6 games, right? Y'all know that to be true.
So, we
You
want
got to protect
quarterbacks
the
that,
football. At
Yo, yo, yo,
77%,
it,
he protects the football.
And listen,
quarterbacks
I'm
that
getting
manage the
tired
game
of
are going
everybody
to
talking.
win the
Look,
game.
look, and real. Well, what's that comment? You haven't won anything made any sense? Georgia's quarterback won 2 fucking college championships. I didn't see nobody starting his ass anywhere in the NFL. That don't make any damn sense. That's not an argument. That's the weakest shit I ever heard. When's the last time Patrick Mahomes won a college fucking championship? Lamar Jackson won a college
But
championship,
they
but
had
they won MVPs in the NFL.
But you talking about different types of players, though, Mike. You understand
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying?
Okay.
You
Well,
put
let's.
a Bo Nix and
Well,
a JJ McCarthy in a system that's already established. I keep using Atlanta because we were using Atlanta like Atlanta had. They already got the running game. They already got the tight end. They got the wide receiver. They got the offensive line. They missing a little more defense, and you put a guy in that doesn't turn over the ball. Think
they're
about it.
gonna
When
be
they came for us in the rain, what happened? Desmond Ritter turned that ball over, and we beat them by 3. Correct?
facts.
when I saw
You know what
Bo
I'm saying?
Nix at Auburn, even though he was younger, when I saw Bo Nix at Auburn, when he looked like he was born to run Gus Malzahn's offense with the West Coast spread, with the RPOs, he
Okay.
still did not impress me
Okay.
at all
So
whatsoever.
okay. All right. When you saw him last year and you saw him play against Washington, both of those games, take
Right.
away the win and loss column. Tell me he didn't show his ass. Please tell me he didn't show his ass. Lie to me. I want you to lie to me right now
I
on
can't
live
lie to you.
internet.
I can't lie to you.
Thank
I
you. I
can't lie to you.
appreciate it. I appreciate your honesty. I don't know how
I
you're
can't lie to you.
going back all the way to Auburn days when this nigga last year went in the motherfucking game and showed his ass every game he played. But y'all want to go back to Auburn. You
But
niggas is slick.
he's also played against, he's also 20, 29, 31, played
he
against
is
20, 21-year-olds.
he is not 29. Where you getting this age from? You just making up shit to cap some more.
Okay, I say
Let's
this:
be
he had to
honest. Hold
play
on.
in college so long. It clearly shows he was a slow learner. You know what I'm saying?
That makes no sense. Joe Burrow played 5 years in
How?
college.
But he
Joe
won a
Burrow played
national
5 years in
championship
college.
and played with one
Oh,
of the
well,
best
okay.
teams
Oh,
there ever
wait,
was.
wait. It's a difference now because
Game
he got a
changer, game
championship.
changer, game changer, game
He
changer.
played. So when
Now, you see, y'all got to realize too. You jump in that portal, and then you got to go learn another system. You just don't do that overnight as well. You understand?
But Oregon's
You
always
just
been
don't do
known
that
as a
overnight.
high scoring team. So that's why I look at him like I ain't saying he can't play, but that's why I look at him like, oh, okay.
okay,
When
so
has
who's your
Oregon
number?
ever
So
had like really low scoring teams?
okay, all right. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Give me your
And like I
top 3
said, they went to the
quarterbacks.
Pac-10. The Pac-10 ain't known for defense.
Hmm. That's your best argument. I just want to let you know. All that other shit you said that
I
was
mean, that's
so
the only
irrelevant.
argument I need. You know what I'm saying?
But that was your best shit right there. But you know what? Pac-10 showed their ass this year. I'm not gonna lie, but I get what you're saying. I give you
Factual.
that. But Pac-10 was showing their ass this year. But I'm gonna let you have that one, Bo. B.
You got
Well,
to.
see,
You know what I'm saying?
y'all say that. Y'all say that too, and then look at it. How many? Okay, so you say SEC got the best defense. Okay, where all the SEC quarterbacks at? That's killing it.
Talk that shit, goat. Talk that
I mean,
shit, goat.
y'all got to stop hollering about this conference do this conference do that, or
I'm
whatever.
not saying
You
about
just
the
really got to look
SEC.
at this guy.
I go off my talent and stuff like that. Like I said, I
Okay.
seen Bryce Young play in college. I seen CJ Stroud play in college. I said CJ
Mm-hmm.
Stroud's it. When people say, well, he has open wide receivers. When he showed me when he played against Georgia, and number of his wide receivers was out, and they were saying Georgia was just going to steamroll. He
Oh,
showed me, okay, the dude got
yeah.
talent on a whole
B.
nother level. So I
B.
don't
B.
just go, oh, if he plays for
B.
the
Don't go there.
SEC.
B don't go there because Q and Goat used to chew my ass when I talked about that Georgia game, talking about it was one fucking game. It was just one game. And I was like, okay, whatever, nigga.
No, because anybody who watched football, when they saw that last season of Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, if you watch football, you can see that Stroud was the better quarterback than Bryce Young. Bryce Young just had the media hype about him, and he went to Alabama, and he was a proven winner from his high school days. He came from a good family. That's it. When you look at quarterbacks, you can tell, hey, this nigga about to be nice. And that's what I said about C.J.
Hey,
Stroud. I
hey,
never said
Real.
that about Bryce Young. What's
Real,
up?
I watched the video this morning, and that's all somebody was talking about his accolades from college from high school to college to this and that. When you got to start talking about what somebody did, not what they fucking doing, you got a problem.
It's not what
You got a
you've
problem.
done for me, it's what you done for me lately. I don't care
What you
about what you
done for
did
me
10
lately.
years ago. Yeah,
I ain't lying.
what you
That was
did
10
last
years
week.
ago. No, that was different. That was totally
No,
different.
I mean, I just think it's this nerd. Let me say, people who haven't played sports, they don't understand the difference between college, high school, or NFL, or you know what I mean, or professional sports. Like you're not playing with this people that's just gonna be working everyday jobs. You're playing against the cream of the, you know what I'm saying, crop. Now, when you go
Yeah.
to the NFL, all those players in the NFL, if they wasn't basically all stars, or you know what I'm saying, to a certain degree, you know more likely they wasn't gonna make it. And like I said on the other podcast, it ain't that Bryce Young isn't talented. It's just he is tapped out of college because now you got defensive ends and stuff running like 4.5, 4.7s. You know what I'm saying? Around that speed, he's not fast enough to elude those. You know what I'm saying? Those ends and stuff like that. So the stuff he was always used to doing from high school to the college level, he can't do in the NFL, and that's a big problem for him.
Well, that was
Because if you don't have the
on the scout.
abilities, huh?
No, that was on the scout report. Like, even on the scout report, it was basically saying like, hey, his athleticism is like medium. Like his
Yeah,
arm
I mean,
strength is like medium.
yeah, I
It was all
understand
based
it,
on
but
what
a
Bryce
lot of
Young.
people didn't. A lot of people didn't care. They just assumed he did it in college. He would do it in the NFL. They said he was an
Exactly.
Yeah, but
elite processor. He held the
And you
ball
know
for like
what?
5 seconds in college.
And when everybody was saying that shit, I kept saying, yeah, I know a motherfucking quarterback that lit it up in college that couldn't do it in the NFL. That was about the same size, the same height, had the same everything about him. His name was Johnny Manziel. And
don't do
niggas
it. Don't do it.
crucified me.
Don't do it.
Niggas
Don't do it.
crucified me. I'm doing it because the shit don't make no fucking sense. I swear to God. You can't get a motherfucking hot pocket and take it to a steakhouse. It don't make no fucking sense.
No, it don't. It ain't gonna. It ain't gonna register. It ain't gonna register. It ain't. It might be. Hey, and they call it steak hot pocket, but that ain't steak. That ain't steak, homeboy.
It ain't
That ain't steak.
steak, dog.
That ain't no T-bone. That ain't no cowboy steak. That's a hot pocket.
Hell,
It's a hot pocket, real. It's all the
it's
hell
not a
in it. That's all
ribeye.
the fucking is. It's a hot pocket. Stop that. Stop that
And the
right
thing,
now.
the problem is as we look, and this is the reason why I say, and people probably gonna say, no, we're gonna give him more time. I say, if Dan Morgan is the GM that we are hoping he is, when we're sitting at the top of the drive next year, it's 100% going to be a scouting of what quarterback him and Canales wants. It shouldn't be a debate because it was clear during the talk today, during his session, not Canales, but during his session, it was clear that they didn't have the QB that he wanted.
Hmm.
They didn't draft
That's
the
the
one
problem.
that he
What I
preferred.
said. What if Bryce Young does semi good this year? They're not going to draft another QB.
It,
We got
it,
to
it,
just
I-
see how the
it,
season
Semi
it,
good,
plays
they ain't
out.
gonna cut him.
it's going to take more than just yards. What it's going to take 100% is the touchdown to interception ratio. It's going to take the kind of plays that he doesn't make that he does make. It's going to take the footwork development. It's going
Talk
to
your
take
shit.
more.
Talk your
It's going
shit.
Nah, man.
Talk
it's
You
your
going
think
to
you're wrong
shit.
on this one, homie. You wrong on this
it's
one. It ain't
and the
about
reason
what you
why,
see. It's how the people perceives it. Because, I
no
mean,
no
if he
no
throw
no
for
no 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 no.
3,500 yards,
And
17
let's be
TDs,
real.
11 interceptions, they're going to give him
No
another shot. And
no
that's
no
the
no
bare
no.
minimum.
It depends on how Dan Morgan perceives it. Because there's one thing that Dan Morgan did do. He did live in the Super Bowl before, so he knows what it takes to get there. He might look at
Didn't
Bryce
answer
and
that
say,
before. Did I
He
say that,
might look
bro?
at Bryce and say, "Look, my guy, you alright, but you not gonna get us what we need. I played with Jake Delhomme. I know what he did versus Tom Brady. You're not gonna do it for us. You're not gonna give us the
Hey,
impact that we need."
Mike. Oh, Mike. But let's just put everything out there on the table, y'all. Let's just put everything out there on the table. Let's don't act like brush this shit up on the rug. Y'all seen all the controversy we had behind this quarterback pick this year right here, saying that the owner picked him and he vetoed. That's the word he used. He vetoed everybody else, this and that. The head coach ended up getting fired behind the quarterback pick, behind the scheme, the quarter, this young up and coming coordinator and Thomas Brown that we were supposed to be enamored with and all this and blew everybody
Fuck
away
Thomas Brown.
in the interview. Well, but still don't real
Keep
all this
going.
stuff that we were sold to do and all this. Let's don't act like this guy that we have right now is not coming with some type of controversy or some kind of I don't know type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Behind him from the pick, from the pick, because everybody was torn. CJ, AR, was it or is it this guy? Is it that guy? It wasn't a clear cut saying that's our guy right there. That's it. We gonna get him as long as it takes. Ain't nobody saying that. Nobody. Never. Nobody has said that. So if Canales and Morgan is getting out there saying, I can't remember the word, they pretty much just said the thing now that nobody ain't safe. Everybody got to be looked at. Competition coming in for everybody. Now, we know they ain't going to draft a quarterback at 31. We know, I mean, 33. We know that. But who's to say, like B. Good said, if that quarterback play is a little better, it's a head scratcher. If it's worse or the same, it's going to be a head scratcher. And y'all know that.
Well,
Y'all know that.
let me tell you something, Goat. I'm gonna tell you the reason why it might not be a head scratcher, and let me tell you the reason why.
Okay? Get to me.
Because as you see in Chicago, they're saying, "Do we start over with a rookie and redo the rookie start from the very beginning of a rookie contract and build around him because it'll be felt more financially secure? Would it be better for us long term? Because there's something about a quarterback on a rookie deal that is most appealing to every NFL quarterback, NFL team in the league. So
Cause
if
they cheat.
Bryce,
Of course.
exactly. So if Bryce Young is at the end of the year, he did a little bit better, but he didn't do enough to show that he could run a franchise. And we sitting there with the first pick of the draft across the board. It's gonna be: do we hit the reset button and we keep our salary cap low for the next 4 or 5 years and build around this new guy, or do we give this nigga another year or two and then have to pay him? See, Bryce
Can I
Young
jump
is
in on?
that's why I said it's going to take more than him having to increase his yardage, because in that moment it becomes a business decision for the team long term, and you sit back and say, "Hey, a rookie deal is a rookie deal, and we already did this much with this team. If we add a rookie in, now our salary cap stays great for another 4 more years, and we can continue building around the next guy that we draft." That's going to be a
Okay.
stipulation if Bryce Young is just a little bit better rather than if he shows he's what they was expecting him to.
I'm telling you
Can I
right
jump
now,
in?
Dan Morgan. Oh, go ahead.
Uh, Go ahead,
I
B.
was gonna say, bro. I mean, I get what you're saying on that, but the problem of it is, if they didn't have that number one overall pick, and we didn't feel like those two quarterbacks was what they call generational, they wouldn't even be in that conversation to do that. And two, where you're missing it when it comes to Justin Fields, he's hit or miss. He can throw the football downfield, so I give you that. So he's a bubble starter. When I say a bubble starter, I mean he can start on certain teams. Like if he went to like Steelers right now, he's a starter. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I feel
Okay.
like
Let me ask a question. When you just said that right there, something popped in my head. You just said number one pick this year. If we was holding that number one pick this year, what would we do? I'm asking you, be good. If that was our pick
Right
and
now,
we didn't never
right
and we
now,
got it
well,
right,
what to call it? Oh,
what would we do?
he ain't. I mean, you talking about if we already got Bryce Young, or you just saying,
We know, yeah, the team just like it is right now, and we got number one overall pick right now, today. What would we
oh,
do?
they're gonna draft a wide receiver
Y'all
from
tell me in the
Ohio
chat
State.
too.
You know they're
Okay,
gonna
that's
draft
what I'm
a
saying.
wide receiver for Ohio State because they want to prove that Bryce is the guy.
Okay,
Do
so
you think
now
they do it? Hold for a second, Mike. Now I'm gonna ask y'all another question. Do y'all think they pull a Chicago type move and say, "Oh, we're gonna trade this for some. We're gonna trade out of this thing for some more picks and say get Malik or somebody like that?" Because they still, I know Marvin is a game changer, but you still looking at maybe two more guys. You know what I'm saying? That could be good wide receivers as well. Do
Are you
y'all
asking
see
me or are
that?
you asking somebody else?
Well, I'm asking. I'm asking you too. I'm asking you.
Hold
Do
on,
you
I
still
missed
making
that
a move
last
like
part.
Chicago made? Do you still making a move like Chicago made and trade out of it, or it be Marvin Harrison Jr. No question?
I mean, it just depends on what they want to do. Me, I'm just gonna try to keep building that team around because I feel like, hey, we have to forget 2 years ago. I even think last year, Chicago was actually one of the worst teams. They had no offensive line. You know what I'm saying? They had DJ Moore, which that helped, and he had his best year in the rising tight end. But Justin Fields wasn't really given anything fair. He always had a run for his life, in my opinion. I mean, is he a top five right now? You can say it's no. But in my instance, if they trade, let's just say they did trade Justin Fields for a second or third round pick, if they can get there and bring in the next QB, they still got to fill out that offensive line. So, I mean, I think they'd be in the same scenario they was like 4 or 5 years ago when they had Mitch Trubisky.
if in my scenario, if we had the first pick of the draft this year as a Panther, I swear to you, if they didn't trade back, I wouldn't watch another game. And I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you this. And the
That
reason
makes
why
sense to you,
is
Mike.
because there's so many holes to fill that one receiver is just not gonna do it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trading back and I'm collecting. And the reason why I was saying something earlier was because I'm looking at 2 years. All right, next year we have a hard ass schedule, right? There's no such thing as with our hard ass schedule, Bryce not putting to the test. To me, I get to say if they work on the offensive line, they add a good receiver, draft a decent power running back, you really get to say to Bryce Young, hey, we got you an offensive coordinator for your head coach just for you. We drafted this receiver just for you. You still got your favorite target in Adam Thielen and Jonathan Mingo on his second year. We upgraded the offensive line just for you. We got a
Mm-hmm.
power running back just for you. If next year it's not clear cut that Bryce Young is the guy, and you sitting at the first pick of the draft, you got to ask yourself, what else can I do for the nigga?
I can't. Ain't nothing else
There's
I can do.
I
nothing else you
mean,
can do for the nigga. There's
I hear
nothing.
it's all. I believe what you're saying is all right, but like I said, teams usually just don't operate like that in the NFL.
They do, just not Carolina. They
No,
do,
I
just not
mean,
Carolina. And the reason why is because people saying right now Chicago's dealing with the hell with the stipulation right now. Do we trade Justin Fields and get a first round pick for him and draft Caleb Williams? Because it'll reset the salary thing, even though we got plenty of money. It'll start
Mm-hmm.
all off. And the team no, not the team. DJ Moore is yelling, I want Justin Fields. I want Justin Fields. But everybody in the motherfucking locker room is not on the same board. And everybody in the office is saying, look, either Chicago wants an arm and a leg and some more shit for that first pick and to keep Justin Fields, or they're thinking about trading Justin Fields and taking Caleb Williams. See, when you got in the point where you know you got to pay a motherfucker coming up soon, and he didn't show you that he's it, it's a lot of stipulation to come with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just think, like I said, when it comes to Chicago, they just in a rare scenario. If they didn't have that number one overall pick, let's be real, they'd be keeping Justin Fields. They just in a real precarious situation. They finessed us. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
But that's gonna be us next year. We're gonna have Bryce Young with the first pick of the draft. We about to be in the
Yeah,
same scenario.
I know, but like I said, 3,500 yards, 17 TDs, 11. Let's just say 11 interceptions.
That's
They're
not
gonna
enough.
keep him.
That's not
Not for
enough.
you, not for you, but for the fan base, yes, it is.
If that's enough for a fan base, I think every please listen to me in the chat. Because if anybody y'all agree that 17 touchdowns or 13 interceptions is enough of an improvement, I want you to do me a favor. Get off the chat, go slit your wrist. Kill yourself. Please. Immediately. Because it's not. You're the reason what's wrong with the Carolina Panther Nation. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
but
what's wrong
I,
with
It,
the
it,
but I
Carolina
mean,
Panther
it,
like
Nation.
a lot of people
that's
think that
not
way.
championship. That's not
It's
championship
not
though.
champ. It's not championship football, but it don't matter because those people want
That's
to
that's
see him
not
succeed.
that's not even playoff shit. And that's
Yeah,
why I
that's
say everybody
not
that
gonna
feels
be.
that song about Bryce Young need to do me a favor. It is 2024. You can come out of the closet any day now.
Yeah,
You don't
that
have
ain't
to
gonna be.
hold that in. You can come
Yeah,
out of the closet. You can say that you love him because you think he's attractive. He's adorable. You got your poster of him. You think about him before you go to sleep. Just come out of the closet and be cool with it. Because I'm done with this bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
we
and
all are, but I'm just looking. I'm just looking at how they looking at it. If he throws for
well,
that, right, they're gonna say he's improving. Like I said, I say he's good enough not to be good enough if he does that. But
it,
most people are going to give him a shot. Tepper is going to give him another shot. Be like, well, let's see if we can draft another weapon or something
well,
like
it
that.
just
Get
depends.
another
It
offensive line.
depends on where you at on that board and who's up there. Any of that, all that stuff right there. Because if you think you said 35 and all the other stuff that you just read out, that's not. We just talk about the NFC. That's not beating Baker at present time. That wouldn't beat Jalen, and and the Eagles was on a decline or imploded. That definitely ain't beating Brock. That ain't beating who
Dak,
else was up there? That ain't beating Dak.
you,
No,
Yeah,
you,
it ain't.
I
you
mean,
not.
I agree. I agree. Look, I
So you ain't
agree.
gonna
I'm
nowhere.
I'm agreeing
If
with
you
y'all.
know
What y'all saying? I'm not. I'm just saying those people
Oh,
who don't
B, I
agree
feel you.
with it, they're
B,
gonna
I
no,
make
know that
that
you.
we
argument.
No, no,
still home. We
no,
still
B, I
home
know
in
you with us.
January.
No,
Yeah,
B, I
we
know you
still
with
home
us.
in
But,
January.
yeah, exactly.
We ain't
There's,
doing
there's,
nothing.
there's, you're not sniffing a playoffs with 17 touchdowns and 11 interceptions.
I
You're
mean,
not
I
even
agree with
considering it.
that, but I think y'all really are missing that point where it's saying we
No,
know.
I
I
know
know
what
that
you're
it's
saying.
not good enough.
It's improvement, and
I
you think
understand
it's gonna
y'all know
have been
football. That's what I'm
10
saying.
games.
Y'all know football, but a lot of people don't. Like I
Right.
literally had somebody when I dropped off the line last week sit there and say when it came to Baker Mayfield, where he doesn't have the ability issues like he said. I mean, like Bryce Young has, and he still made it work. Luckily, since I dropped off, I couldn't rebuttal him saying Baker always had an arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is this
See,
is what
some
Baker?
people
He
don't
just
know
it's his
football.
decision making. But I'm
Some
saying,
people don't.
like, when it comes to the fan base, I'm not saying I disagree because I agree with you. I believe we need to get another QB. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you on that point. But if he produces to that type of level, people are going to make an excuse to keep him. That's why I say he'd be just good enough not to be good enough. I'm
I
not
caught him.
saying y'all wrong because I believe with
Getting
you.
ready to
I
go
mean,
down.
even if we
We getting ready to
lose,
go down. Then we going down the rabbit hole. We going to
yeah,
slam down the rabbit.
Yeah. And I call them stat readers. People that speak about football, but they just read stats off the paper, and they just read this and they read that. Like for instance, everybody's like, let's get rid of Brian Burns. You know what I mean? They just read in the paper. They're not engaged in the difference between the concepts of what actually went in for a player of that stature to fall off. And when you dealing with people that only knows what's on the paper, You're not dealing with someone that's in tune with schemes, philosophies, the benefits, the disadvantages of having a quarterback that's only gonna throw for this many yards. See, hold on. Carolina gonna have to get it together. This loser shit ain't it. Well,
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
look, man.
I agree with y'all saying. I want another QB. That's what I'm saying, but y'all missing the picture. Like I always say, Tepper chose that guy. We all agree with that. If he throws for 3,500, like I said, 17 TDs, 11, Tepper's gonna come down and say, "Look, I mean, I know it wasn't the best year, but he showed improvement. He showed major improvement. Go get him another guy." And like I said, I'm not sold on Dan Morgan. He may say, "Look, man, he ain't in here." But as soon as he say, "Hey, go get him another guy," like I said, what do you think Dan Morgan gonna do? Because at the end of the day, he still was with the old regime. So I still believe Tepper gonna still have some type of influence.
We gonna
That's what
see.
I'm saying.
We gonna see. And what's gonna show me is not only this draft, but during the season, what's gonna really show me is no, not mentally. It's gonna actually be this draft and next year's draft. I'm not gonna say not during the season. This year and next year's draft, because this year everybody knows what's gonna happen. The draft is gonna be mainly built, I think, towards offense. Now, Dan kind of said what he said today about the best player available. And you know what I mean? It might be an offensive guard. It might be a receiver. What really would tell me that if it's the best player available, if he picks somebody for the defense, that'll fuck my head up. I promise you it would. That right there would let me know that he don't give a fuck about Bryce Young. If he picks somebody on the defensive side of the ball for with the 33rd pick because that's the best player available, I will promise you that only means that Bryce Young's numbers are uh, uh, Bryce Young's days are numbered.
Well, and then the thing about this, though, Mike, I think we putting the apple before the cart when we're talking about Bryce Young. The Bryce Young situation is gonna fix itself. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be two to three things with that dude. Either, like B was saying, he's gonna get better, and then a decision is gonna have to be made to know if the progression is good enough, because they know what the numbers are to beat these other guys. Like I said, you just looking at the NFC, the Purdy's, the Dak playoffs. So they know they got to get past them before they can get anywhere else. All right. You got to then. So the thing is that their mission right now, where they at right now, at the combine right now, is to put pieces around him and elevate this team as a whole. That's the number one thing that they trying to do this week, or this is what they're looking at this week, far as these players out here that's coming out of this in this 2024 draft class. That's it.
I'll be man. I tell you, if they go and they get best player available, and them boys go and get a defensive edge or outside linebacker, or worse, if they go and get a corner. Oh my God. What a better way to put a middle finger up to your boy than to do that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if they do that shit, Bryce Young is done, dog. I promise you.
They
That
I
really
is
had a
don't
the
have a
question.
plan.
So they're
Y'all
gonna try
know.
to
I
pick
mean,
up in
real
free
talk.
agents.
You know it's gonna be a guard or a receiver. Y'all
I
already know
swear.
that.
I know. I'm just saying though, because if it's best player available, if I'm using Dan Morgan words against Dan Morgan, fuck the quarterback scenario, because I know the quarterback shit ain't gonna go. I know that's not the case. But if the best player available and he's looking at the board and there's some outstanding fucking defensive player just sitting there, and that nigga says, take him anyway. I swear to God. Because
That'll hurt.
I done seen some mock drafts where some defensive
Mike,
tackles.
this team needs everything, man. And if there's
Yeah,
a
I'm
guy,
saying.
if there was a Hamilton safety, a Hamilton type safety sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. That's a head scratcher. That's something
Well,
that has
go.
to be looked at because we need
Did you
everything.
did you hear what Be Good said a second ago? He
What was
said,
that?
basically at what you said at 33, who you think they're gonna get?
No, I'm asking who you think they're gonna try to pick up a free agency.
Oh,
That's what
free
I'm kind of
agency.
worried about because I'm thinking whoever they pick up, that's where more likely we'll know who they're gonna try to get in the draft. I mean, or position, that position.
I'm gonna be real
I,
with you, Be Good. I think they're gonna target at least one starting caliber guard because you got a bevy of free agents that's gonna be coming off, and from the Rams, they got an offensive guard right now that they replaced the Austin Corbett with. He going on the market. You got a couple of teams here and there that's gonna be losing guards, and I think they're gonna probably try to target one good one, and they're gonna probably hit the draft and try to get another one.
Okay,
Um,
I thought about that too. I thought they may do that. I'm just was thinking like maybe like one wide receiver from or maybe two from free agency, but I'm just looking at the team, how bad we was and quarterback we got. They're gonna be asking for a bad, you know what I'm saying, before they even sign anything here.
I do not
well,
want to see one wide receiver sign. There's
Well,
not a single wide.
hold on,
Hold
Mike,
on, we only
hold
got
on
two.
now, because there is a couple of guys, and I think I broke this down for everybody. There's a couple of guys that's sitting there, and I'm gonna be real with you. There's a couple of guys that you might look at and say, okay, at wide receiver, I'll take this cat. You know what I'm saying? Because he gives us a good chance. That boy from Indianapolis,
Okay, okay, all right.
um,
Pittman.
Let me clean that up. Let me clean that
Pittman.
up. I don't
uh
want to see
Pittman Jr.
no. I don't want to. No, I don't want him. Okay, so I
Mike,
don't
but
want to.
Mike, the cat had 1,152 yards, 4 touchdowns. He gonna be a free agent this year, and his market value is about, I'm looking at it right now, 20 million,
Well, he
22
injured
mil.
the. Well, he injured the last year, almost all season.
I don't know about the previous year, but I know this year he played all the games.
Okay, well, see that was the thing because most of the receivers that's in the free agency has been injury prone. Michael
But Mike,
Pittman last year, not this last year, but the year before, I think he had quite a few injuries. OBJ, of course, is injury prone. T. Higgins injury prone. Michael Thomas injury prone. There's a lot of injury prone receivers in the free agency.
okay, we're gonna go through it then. Since we're sitting right here, Mike. Since we're
And
sitting right
don't
here,
we
I'm gonna
have
put it
like
on the screen.
Calvin Ridley or Hollywood Brown? Can you get like one of those two?
Yes, sir. So check this out. Right here is the yardage. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Right here is the yardage of what
Mm-hmm.
they got this year and the touchdowns right here. Now, Mike Evans is sitting at the top of the mountain, and it gives you a market value. I'm on Sports Track right now. These are
Mm-hmm.
the upcoming free agents for this season, and it's going to be able to tell you what their salary is right now, what you see right here, and what their market value is looking for in free agency. Now,
Okay.
if you're the Carolina Panthers, you're going to say, okay, let's designate a certain amount to go in here to try to already put forward. So let's say the Carolina Panthers say, okay, let's set aside 15 to 18 million dollars to try to fit somebody in. Is there one guy right here on this list that you guys say, and I'm gonna call out a couple of them that got good numbers that y'all would take right now out of free agency? So I'm gonna start off with Mike Evans, 1,255 yards, 13 touchdowns, and let's look at his market value. His market value is gonna be right there, 23.8.
I ain't going.
I say
That's
no,
every.
cause he ain't coming here anyway.
Okay. Tyler Boyd, 29. I think he's 29 years old, 667 yards. His market value is gonna be 8 million from Cincinnati.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I
that
say
is something
yes
to
on
think
that one.
about now. Yeah, that's something to think about.
That's
I
something
say
to think
yes.
about.
Look now. I like Tyler Boyd.
That's something to think about for just $8 million.
Him,
That's his market value.
yeah. I
Hey,
just
because Don't get me wrong. Yeah, we restructured Shaq, but man, we can get rid of Shaq. We can get rid of some other people, man. Get somebody like that.
Okay,
Tell him do it,
Calvin
but
Ridley.
talk to me.
Calvin Ridley. Let's see what his market value. I'm just clicking on it. $17 million right there for Calvin Ridley. He had 1,000 yards this past season.
Mm,
And 8 touchdowns. 1,016 yards with 8 touchdowns.
Calvin
Okay,
I
hey,
would
hey,
Ridley.
say
hey,
yeah.
Q,
Hey,
hey,
and
Q.
which
What's
one of
up?
our
What's
receivers
up?
had 1,000 yards?
Hey,
No,
let
no.
me throw
What
something
about
else at
Thielen?
let me throw something else at y'all now while y'all doing this right here.
No,
Yeah, it's something else just because like right now we looking at free agency and this and that. And then imagine this. Now this is reports that I had got that they've been looking at Xavier Leggett from South Carolina, right?
I
They've been
knew
looking
it.
at him
Oh yeah,
hard.
that's a good
I
He
piece. That's a
on the
good
big
piece.
fucking
board,
knew it.
he is the
Hey, man.
11th. He is the 11th wide receiver on the big board. And they got him projected to go somewhere around 53. So if you was to take a trade back, because y'all keep in mind, you got the first pick on the second day after everybody go home and sit there and think and sleep on something. And after you try to, and that's when you best make decisions. That first thing in the morning when you wake up and be like, I got to do something. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you take that trade back at 33, and you can go get you a guard, and you can go get a receiver that's 11 on the big board at 53. If you don't go, if you move back, you know what I'm saying, into the 40s or something like that. Somebody is going to give you a second or a third pick. You see what I'm saying? So, you only need one of these free agents because you already got
Okay.
Thielen and Mingo.
Well,
I'm
can I
just putting it out there
continue?
like that.
Let me continue on. Let me continue on. Van
Go
Jefferson,
ahead.
27 years old. This cat had 600 plus yards this year. Or statistically, let me get the statistics again. Statistics he had. Oh damn, 209 yards in Atlanta this year,
That's a no go.
No.
and his market value $2 million.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. You said he had that in Atlanta, right? Last year.
Yeah, you know Desmond Ritter been trash. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking about. What he might have had the year before. Nah, but keep
Yeah,
going.
before he had 500 yards.
Okay, see, that's a lot better for 2 million. But keep going. Yeah, I know how to.
Okay.
I know how to use the EBT card.
Yeah. You
Uh,
don't have to knock it out the park now. You don't have to knock free agency out the park.
You don't
no, you
because
just
you
need to
got
get one
Jonathan.
of these guys.
Yeah, you
That's
just
what I'm
need
telling y'all.
Okay.
because if
Okay.
you draft for the number one receiver, you got Jonathan Mingle, you got Adam Thielen. You need somebody basically for depth. We're not looking for because if we're gonna actually
Man,
draft a receiver,
That's what I
'cause-
What about
just said,
Marquise?
y'all.
What
hey,
about Marquise Brown?
wait, Mike. All the receivers we got, man. So we got at least about 7 receivers on our team, man.
I think they gonna look at a nigga like this right here, Marquise Brown. He 14.8.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Hollywood Brown, 26 years old. They're gonna probably look to probably bring a cat like this right here in free agency in. What y'all think about that? Would y'all take him?
I think he takes away Brian Burns if you get him.
I mean, I think I
14
would go
mil?
with more of a Calvin Ridley. I would go with
Calvin
they
Ridley.
play.
Uh,
I think they play kind of the same, but I think
Uh,
what you call a better playmaker though.
So if you look at the two numbers right here, they're right in front of each other right here. Marquise Brown, which watch my mouse right here. Marquise Brown right here at 574 yards with 4 touchdowns. Calvin really got double the numbers of him. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Double the production. So all you
how
seeing
about?
is Trevor Lawrence versus Desmond Ritter. That's what the hell you looking at.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I be honest, I haven't really been too much of a fan on Trevor. I mean, I thought he was good, but I thought they overrated him. To be honest with
I don't I don't think he's overrated, man.
I,
Some
I,
guys you
Yeah.
could look at him and tell that they got it. And I think he got it, but it's just Jacksonville is a terrible destination to be in. And he
Yeah.
making the most of it.
It's a bad
Now
yeah, you
city.
ain't mad about that.
this is
In
me
a
being
hard lock.
real about a quarterback that's in a fucked up spot. I'm not just being people think I'm only negative on Bryce or something like that. No, if Bryce was shining in a terrible spot like us, I would say I call a spade a
Wait a minute.
spade.
We only had DJ
Yeah.
Chalk for 1 year.
Oh yeah, DJ Charko only 1 year. He a free agent. See
Mm-hmm.
right here,
What's his market
500.
value?
Right. Yeah,
What's his
yeah, I
market
see that.
value?
Let's see what it is.
I'm just
Shit.
10.
curious.
Damn, 10 million a year.
Man,
Remember he
you
wanted
said
that
that, but
last
that
year. And
motherfucker, he ain't did shit.
we only gave him 5 this year.
Man, he ain't
Oh.
coming back. Bryce Young can't throw the football downfield.
hmm But
So
remember, he
why
took a
get
pay
any
cut
high
to come to
value then?
Carolina.
Why get any high value if he can't throw the ball down the goddamn field? That don't make
Bam!
sense.
There you go. Fourth, that's why you my guy, Fourth. That's why you
Ah.
my guy. That's what
Yeah,
I
man.
tell y'all. You only need one of these
See,
guys right here.
see
That's what I just told y'all.
that,
If
that
y'all
and
didn't catch,
that's why I was looking at the Tyler Boyd situation because the Tyler Boyd shit was tempting to me because he a slot receiver.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? He a slot receiver. He's somewhere that could get open in the middle of the field, which Bryce Young's gotta have because obviously he can't throw down the field. So if I had to choose out of all the receivers that's been shown, I'm going with Tyler Boyd.
Kurt
What
Samuels
about
And
got
this
some
one,
because
good
I
Mike?
think
receivers too now.
What
I
about
hear
this one right
you,
here, Mike? Well,
Curtis
because
Samuel, I
he
like
got
that too.
Carolina ties, and think about who your GM is. They may
Fact.
even look to bring this cat home at 27 years old. He won 11.5 a year as his market value. They might do some wild shit like let's bring Curtis home.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
he
Let's
ain't gonna
get
get
Tyler
the
Boyd.
he.
Let's get Tyler Boyd. Let me
Uh,
tell you why. Let me tell you why. Well, let's get Tyler Boyd because what we're gonna need is and let's be real. I understand the whole dude Liggett from South Carolina that injury prone too. The only receiver that I really feel like should be targeted in the draft for a quarterback like Bryce Young is Malachi. Because what you need is a dog that's gonna get you
Talking about
yards
Malachi
after the catch.
Corley.
Yeah.
Mike? Why can you
what
sit
happened
there
to
and say that
Mingo?
right there, Mike? Why can
What?
why can you sit there and say that, Mike? Look at okay. Would you say that Zay Flowers and a Leggett or one of them other boys would have been if Zay would have been in this draft right here, he'd have fell about where all these guys would fall. Zay Flowers.
No,
Yeah,
no.
but if he did, I still wouldn't want him for Bryce
But
Young
what?
because
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Why can Lamar do work with that guy and this guy can't do work with one of these guys? Same caliber type receivers. You understand what I'm saying? You gonna
because
take your
because
dynamic rookie that you just draft and you gonna lean on him. Plus you got Mingo. You supposed to be this that. So why you gonna go pay somebody 11, 12,
Right,
14 million
right,
in free agency?
I'm
right.
not. I'm going to go
Cause
get
of
like a
separation, go. Cause
uh,
separation.
I get that.
All
But
year
Q,
we hear
Okay, okay,
separation.
okay,
but Q,
okay, okay.
What's up, for?
all them receivers supposed to goddamn be able to get separation. All them receivers supposed to be able to catch the damn ball. All them receivers supposed to know how far they supposed to go, if they need to cut, if they need to curl, if they need to sit. All the motherfuckers know all this shit. Now don't get me wrong. Frank Wright and Thomas Brown was running a deal, but Canales, man, he might bring a different atmosphere, man. So I mean, whatever we got going in, I hope this motherfucker can make it do something, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm not. I told y'all last year, I'm not going to motherfucking games. My wife brought that ticket last year. That's the only reason why I ended up in Jacksonville. So,
Oh
so
god.
I say I'm
I'm gonna be
fine with
honest with
like a
y'all, man. We
really.
ain't got time for this bullshit, man. We can look at
God
receivers
damn.
all day, running backs all day, tight ends all day. We can look at all these motherfuckers, but look, man, if y'all sitting there thinking that it don't start with Bryce, this motherfucker got the ball in his damn hand. You can put the ball on the ground all day long, but eventually if them boys shut that shit down, you're gonna have to throw the ball down the field to catch up.
So,
And, and,
for
and,
check this
and
out, for there's a guy that was on our team right here named LaVisca Chenault. Look at his yards. 92 yards for the fucking year. He that's it. I'm sorry, 60 yards on 90. How many attempts? Is this 90 attempts he had? That's attempts
Okay,
right there. On
okay.
snaps. He had 90 snaps.
But he
But
was
Q, let
hurt
me
most
ask
of
you
the
this
year too.
though.
I mean,
listen,
let's be real.
listen. The
He
reason
shut it
why,
down.
but let me
He
tell you
played
something.
eight games. He played eight
The,
games now.
the reason why I said Malachi
Yeah, that ain't gonna get it.
is because I'm looking at not the typical number one receiver that most quarterbacks you want to look at. I'm not looking at a Kevin Ridley. I'm not looking at someone that can get deep because this nigga not throwing the ball deep. I need somebody like a Debo Samuel that's going to fight for the extra yardage. That's going to be able to
Mike,
power
we
drive
supposed
through
to
that.
have one. We supposed to have one.
Nigga, let's
And who
have
that?
two. Let's have
Like I
two.
said,
If they're trying to say that the man they drafted last year is supposed to be that guy, let's have more than one.
Look, look, look,
Let's
look,
have,
look right here, Mike. Look right here. Gabriel Davis has 746 yards and 7 touchdowns from Buffalo.
but he's a deep threat. Who
That's
throwing
what
deep
you.
to
like I
him?
said,
Well, you
I'd
gonna
Who
rather
need
throwing
that
get
for
deep
your
the
to him?
big
boy.
name
That ain't
receivers because faster they know Bryce Young ain't it, fast we can get them out of here. I just don't want to hear that excuse no more talking about no separation. If you got
Well, think
wide
about it.
receivers that can separate,
Be good. For separation, you're gonna need somebody that's a deep threat. The Carolina Panthers gonna try to at least get one of these cats that they're gonna spend big, at least 13, 14, $15 million on. You could bet that.
yeah,
You
that's
could
why I
bet on
said
that.
Calvin
you know
Ridley
what?
because I know he's fast. He's pretty fast, so that's why I say
Yeah.
get him. They ain't gonna be able to make the excuse.
You know, because I got a good question, man. If okay, look at the games we played, man. How many of the cornerbacks really played deep against us? None. Safeties wouldn't even be that fucking deep because they know the ball ain't gonna go all the way back there. So how the
Yeah,
fuck
but
you gonna compete with any of that?
you're missing the point. What I said earlier. Like I said, I don't believe Bryce Young is it. More names you get like Calvin Ridley, we know he's known for speed. They can't sit there and say there won't be separation. As soon as they know Bryce can't throw the football downfield, we can't just obviously say, "Oh, Calvin Ridley can't run no more."
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
just not trying to
Yeah,
leave
you
any
right, B.
excuses
You
for
right,
him.
B. You
So,
right.
so, so
You
I
right.
got one more. I got one more for everybody. Everybody always talk about this cat right here. Remember right here?
Smart.
He on our
Smart too.
team right now. This cat has. I looked up his market value. He has zero market value. But what I heard Panther fans all year, Amir Smith Marset is a deep threat. Get him
Uh-huh.
the ball. He can get behind defenders.
Hell, he
Well,
can get behind the fenders all he want, but shit, Bryce Young will be on the fucking ground before he can get the ball down there.
yeah, yeah. That's a damn shame, is what this is.
Yeah.
Like I
And
said,
I'm getting ready to tell
more separation receivers we get,
y'all.
more we can say, "Hey, okay, it's the Bryce Young fault." I'm just not trying to hear the excuse again because we had Terrence Marshall and what's the wide receiver name that's leaving? Uh,
Sharp.
DJ
Sharp. They
Sharp.
both ran sub 4.344. If
Fast
somehow
guy.
they
Yeah.
lost their speed, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
They just can't run no more.
TMJ ain't never
All
really
right.
showed us shit now.
Hey, but I tell y'all something just like this right here. You got now y'all know I'm a Carolina Tar Heels guy. Okay. You got Ted Walker projected to go like 86, 79, something like that in the draft. Now they got him projected to go to the Houston Texans. Okay. So this guy getting ready to go 86 or 79. He the 16th player, 16th wide receiver on the big board. CJ getting ready to make that boy. Him and CJ gonna be a connection. Because just like B Good said, that boy got sub four whatever speed. We know I done seen him get behind defense in college. He just had to get some tape on the board. But the quarterback is getting ready to make this receiver right here. They getting ready to find another so-called diamond in the rough, just like they did with Tank did. If they get their hands on this guy here, where he projected to go. So do y'all see what I'm saying about don't matter about this receiver, matter about this quarterback or building the line, just like Fourth said. So if he can get it down the field, so he can get it down the field.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I was saying that all week last week. It don't matter who we have as the wide receiver, because let's be real. When we saw Bryce Young try to throw the football field 40 yards, that ball was standing in the air for like 10 seconds.
And it was
I
ducking.
I
It was
think,
mean,
duck,
yeah,
wobbling,
did
wobble,
did
it,
duck.
did
Hey,
we would have won that one
you know,
Tampa Bay game if he could have put one pass on what's his name on point. If he could have put that ball where it was supposed to be, that would have been a walk-in touchdown.
And see, one other thing I look at too, man, is the simple fact that you know we fight against elements out there on the field, man. So you got wind, you might have rain, you might have snow, it might be hard as fuck. This, all that, and the third, man. So when it come to Bryce Young, man, y'all really think he gonna last? Like, if you remember, y'all seen what Miami and goddamn who that Kansas City
Yeah,
played in
Tua.
fucking,
Yeah, Tua. Yeah, Tua doesn't have an
you know what I'm
arm
saying?
either. That's why I said he just a
Yep,
spot thrower.
yep, yep.
So
That's why.
even
And
if
imagine him. Yeah.
yeah,
Go
that
ahead, for
motherfucker get full up, man. That motherfucker get full up in that cold, man. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah,
He might be bigger than me, but that's fine. But listen, I ain't got too much meat on my fucking bone. It's cold out there. This motherfucker ain't gonna last, man. Not like that, man. We
yeah,
need
well,
another quarterback, man. If they don't want to hear
yeah,
that shit, they might as well go ahead and turn off because we need another fucking quarterback. This shit ain't gonna work.
yeah. I
I
think
don't give a fuck
Miami
who run
make a
like.
mistake signing Tua because a lot of I was listening to some of their fans. People that really don't know. They look at Tua's yards. They be like, oh, he can pass. But a lot of people don't know. He just beats sorry teams. Like I didn't know he throws for 200. I mean, 289 yards passing against team no name teams. But when he played like the good teams, his
mm-hmm.
yardage went down 100 yards. So I like, woo.
Talk
You know what
that
I'm saying?
shit,
That's a big
B.
impact.
Talk that shit. Talk
And you
that
know what?
shit. They don't see it.
Now that I think about this, y'all know. Okay, we had the number 3 defense. Why isn't that our offense couldn't have been better than what the fuck it was if we had number 3 defense?
Because we ain't got a fucking quarterback or a running back. Solve the puzzle. Give me what I want,
Yeah,
Alex. Look,
you know
we
what I'm
got a
saying?
quarterback.
Come on, man. We got a number
We
3
got we got
Uh,
a
defense.
I
quarterback that,
mean,
that averages 180 yards per game. We got a running game that averages 2.8 yards per carry. I mean, damn. Look, um, the shit's retarded. And the thing is when you look at the draft or you look at free agency, it's sad when there's certain players that you be like, I don't want that player as talented as he is because my quarterback can't get him the ball. Like that the fact that we have to have that discussion as as Panther fans is lets you know off the rip we don't have the quarterback that we need to win anything. There's no other team I
Hey,
think besides maybe Atlanta could be like, yo, we're not gonna take this player because our quarterback can't get him. First of all, to say that shit out loud is horrible. I can't take this player because our quarterback won't be able to get him the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
that's a
What?
damn shame.
Like I don't want
what you're
Calvin
gonna hear is an
Ridley.
excuse making after that. You're gonna hear a
Uh,
fan
Yeah,
say,
it's
"No, it was the line
so
fault. He can't get the ball down the field."
I'm telling, look, man,
right.
I don't know what
Dumb
Bryce
as shit.
Young did to the Carolina Panther community that I wasn't
I
a part
mean,
of.
that's what I
Was
say.
he out
It's
there
too
just
many people. It's
he
too
was
many
he
people that
giving
don't understand football. Like I said,
him?
I say Bryce Young. I mean, hold on, let me say this right quick.
You all
I
right?
tell people Bryce Young has an ability issue. Like I said in the chat, that's the worst possible thing you can have when you playing a sport or sports. Period. When I say ability issue, that means that's something you can't overcome. You got to be gifted with that. Meaning, you got to be quick enough to do this. You got to be strong enough to do this. He doesn't. He would never be able to fix that. He has to have everything just right for him to be successful. And last
You gotta
time
work
I,
at it
like
in
I explained to a
football,
lot of
man.
people, at the last like seven Super Bowls, when has the quarterback been mediocre and won it?
He
So when
ain't.
I
He
No,
ain't.
explained that,
never.
He ain't. He ain't.
yeah.
He
So
ain't. He's
like I
been
said, when
exceptional.
I
He's been elite.
yeah. Yeah, but when I say like he can't outrun defensive ends, they look at me and say, "Well, is this the line?" I like, bro, that's a big problem. The NFL has changed now. Most of these quarterbacks now, you got to be able to extend time to a certain extent to
Damn.
give your wide receivers a little bit more time to operate. But when I say that, they look at me like, "I don't think you know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I mean, I'm done having that conversation with people because I'm like, hey, yeah, when you watch it, you can see, hey, when he throws the ball, that ball flutters, and teams know he can't throw the footballs downfield, so that already limits your offense. So everybody's pressing up. So when he has to make them 5 to 6 yard throws, teams are already anticipating, hey, he throw that, pick it off, and take it in. That's why, like when we play certain teams, that it's like, what was the team? Wasn't it the team where the quarterback y'all wanted got hurt? What's his name? Coach. That
Oh,
was able,
Rich,
that was
Rich
able
Gannon.
just
Yeah.
to beat us with their defense because they knew, hey, when he throws it, you take it back home. Don't go down, take it back, take it to the house.
Hmm.
Until people accept that issue right there, Panthers are never going to be able to progress. I mean, I see it. I hope that doesn't happen, but like I said, I think it's just too many excuse makers with this fan base and with the not GM with the front office that's gonna give him too much leeway. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We
People
lost
don't
to
Uh-oh.
don't don't don't
Chicago.
don't beat them down
Uh-oh.
though.
Oh,
Don't beat them down though,
No,
B,
fuck that
because
shit.
they
Cause we
they
lost to
did
nah, they
Chicago.
need a
no
shit.
no
They need
Mike.
to hammer
You
to
can't
their ass.
y'all can't beat them down because the situation is
Yeah.
this right here, man. They been it's just like religion, and I don't want to get into religion and this and that. Somebody got to you been bad so long, 6 7 years around here, and once something come along, you know what I'm saying, they got to jump behind it, and this is the guy who they jumping behind right now because we got him,
Kendall,
because
this nigga ain't no Joe Burrow.
Look though, you know
he's
what?
here though.
But you
He ain't
know
no
what
fucking
though?
Joe Burrow,
I'm
man.
saying he's
But
here.
you know what
He's
though?
here.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I wish there would be a day where a Panther fan walk up on me and say, "Motherfucking Big Mike, you are fucking wrong. Look at our guy now." I would love that fucking day, but it ain't gonna
Oh, me
fucking
too,
come.
Mike. Me too, Mike. Me too.
I would love
Mike,
that day. I
I
bet.
love to be wrong. And we sitting in the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna do no Leo and say because I've been talking shit about him, I want us to lose and all that. You crazy as hell. I want that trophy. I want that trophy. I want that Jerry. The first thing I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna buy me a fake ass Super Bowl ring. I'm gonna buy one of them goddamn. Y'all done seen them of them championship belts. I'm gonna be at the parade downtown, raising hell, drunk as mother. I want that. This. Come on now, bro. That's what I
Yeah,
want. I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy him
that's
a
what you
drink
thinking, man.
and be like, "You was
Look,
motherfucking right. Oh, shame
hey,
on me."
I take that all day, Mike. You damn right.
I think y'all got a
I
better
don't
chance
know,
to
man.
see Jesus walk for that.
I think Canales, man, Canales probably ain't gonna come in here and take that bullshit. Now he might be, you know what I'm saying, high spirit, this, that, and the third, but my man probably ain't about to have that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? He's stepping up to the plate. I hope he, you know what I'm saying, he got his shit together, man, and really him and Dan Morgan. Damn, all we need to say is, man, look, man, we ain't got time for this bullshit. We about to build this fucking
Man,
team. I don't give a fuck about nobody. I want to fucking win. Like, you know, I know he can't go up to the podium and say that shit, but god damn, pull somebody to the side. Like, look, I don't give a fuck what it takes. We about to win. Fuck
hey
all
yo,
that shit.
Justin Long. I see you in the chat, dog. I can't wait till I no longer have to report to my PO so I can smoke whatever the fuck you smoking.
Hold on, what he say?
Yeah, I
My
would keep it
man.
Basically,
rolling.
he's saying that Hall of Fame guys like Bryce Young game. Well, when he's the media darling, them guys say anything.
we got
Like Steve Smith. Everybody knows Steve Smith, Hall of Fame potential guy, loves the way that this guy is because they told him to back him. He's an
that.
endorser. He love
He's
him.
our guy. Yeah,
He's our
he's
guy.
our guy.
He's
Man,
not going to say
Yeah.
nobody in the media, player, current or past, is going to ever say anything bad about Bryce Young because they realize there's some guys that the media will jump on you for saying anything negative about, and he one of them.
Uh-huh.
Except for my nigga from the Fox Network. That nigga gave it to Bryce. That nigga said he too damn short to be playing motherfucking football in the NFL. And I died laughing. It's the dude from FS1.
Talking about
Got the little
Keyshawn?
no. Keyshawn said the same shit
Oh, you,
too.
you you was
Yeah, he
talking about
did.
that white guy. You was
Yeah,
talking
the
about that
white
white guy,
bald
right?
head dude in the morning.
Yeah.
He said that little short motherfucker can't play in the NFL who too tiny. He too.
Yeah.
He said he just can't do it. It's unheard of.
I
And
mean,
you know
come
what?
on, man.
A lot of people said that. They said, "Yo, it's not the." Kept saying it over and over. Nobody his size has ever succeeded in the NFL. Nobody's ever done it at his size. It just doesn't happen. People are
Well,
too big on the line. You can't
yeah,
see the field. You can't get this. You can't do that. And well, obviously them niggas was right.
you can do it,
Man,
Mike, but you're not gonna do it at championship caliber. And that's all I'm telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going way in like y'all know how I usually go in. I'm keeping it monotone. You're not going to be able to do it at championship caliber. Just like B was saying earlier, B 35-17. That's not going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the ceiling right there, we in trouble.
Goat,
I
you
mean,
done look at
let's
listen
be
to
real.
Goat being on his grown man shit
Yes,
tonight. I
sir.
That's
see
Yeah,
all.
you,
That's
why
growth.
Goat.
not,
Hey,
That's
man?
hello,
growth
Hey,
right
hey,
there.
Why not,
hey,
man?
That's
Why
growth.
not?
hey,
man,
hey,
Why
Goat
not?
done matured and shit. Look at Goat. I want
hey.
to smoke with Goat smoking too.
See there, go. See, see
Yeah.
there.
That's
I mean, let's be
all I'm
real,
saying,
man.
Mike. That's all I'm saying.
I know we probably get a new receiver because DJ Chark leaving out. That's fine, whatever. But even if the offensive line they put a couple pieces in there, and they still want to roll with Bryce Young, man. Look at man. I don't give a fuck if it's 2 3 years. If you even think about going to the playoffs and trying to get to the championship with Bryce Young, your ass is sadly mistaken. It ain't no way in hell. First of all, with Kansas City, some of the other people done fell off and shit like that too. But at the same time, Patrick Mahomes ain't about to give up like that. So you think
Four,
you really about to go in there and
four,
try and go up against Patrick Mahomes? And
four.
yeah, we
He
got our
only
defense
28.
now.
He only
Patrick
28.
Mahomes,
Four. Yeah, he only
yeah,
28.
man, shit,
He
yeah,
only
he might be
28.
another he might be another
The
Brady by
other
the
cat,
time he get
the
done.
other cat back into their 40s, 42 and 47. He only
Yeah,
28.
man. Bryce Young, yeah, man. And don't get. And see, y'all say we got a harder schedule this year, ain't it?
Huh? Oh yeah, yes sir,
Go,
yes sir,
go.
yes
He
sir.
on your ass. He said, "There you go. The objectiveness running over
Yeah,
just
yeah.
along on
No,
your ass."
that's all I'm saying. Just alone. I'm trying to.
Hey,
I'm just trying to be great.
you know what? This year gonna tell us everything we need to know. Canales coming in here. We still got Bryce Young, and we got a harder schedule. I ain't putting nothing past nobody. I just want to see. I just want to see what this year gonna bring. If we got
Yeah.
all this new shit going
Oh, my
on
bad.
and a harder schedule, I just want to see what it's gonna look like. Then I might decide to go to a game. But if my wife ain't buying my ticket, y'all will not see me. The fuck?
I hope she watching right now so she know not to buy that shit.
I'm
question, if
just
I
being
may
honest
ask.
with you. I'm just shit. I mean, don't get me
but
wrong.
but
I'm trying to put a little bit of faith in Canales, man. But this is his first year stepping up to that plate, man. So I ain't got too much stock in him like that. I probably get 1% chance,
What
maybe.
if I told you I got faith in Canales? I just don't have faith in Bryce. Cause I look at Canales' resume. No, he hasn't had a head coaching job. But the fact of the matter, I done seen him develop so many quarterbacks that have fell off and turned them to great prospects. I got faith in Canales. I just ain't got no faith
Man,
in Bryce.
I mean, I can't say he really built up quarterbacks though. I mean,
yeah,
when he was in Seattle, they already had their system, and they been a 10+ win team. And then when he went to Tampa Bay, even when they had Jameis Winston, he was still, even though he threw all them picks, he was still throwing for like 5,000 yards.
I mean, Geno Smith was forgotten about until he stepped beside Canales. Nobody remembered Geno Smith. And all of a sudden, he led the lead in motherfucking completion percentage, took his team to the
I
playoffs
just
and
said
shit.
it was the system that he was in, like we explained earlier. The system was already built up. Like
Well, he fell
everybody
off.
So
said, he was just in there.
Okay,
And
well,
just
he
like I
fell off
said,
some. He fell off some this year when Canales wasn't there. Is that still the same system?
Well,
bro.
no,
He's
no,
passing
no,
the
Mike,
same
no,
rate.
Mike. That was not Canales' system, though, Mike. That's the dude over there in Chicago. Now, let's don't do that. Let's don't do that.
No,
That's
no,
the
no, no,
guy
no.
that's currently in Chicago. That was his system.
Okay, you know what? So the tell of the tape is going to be what happens next year with Tampa if Baker falls off.
I think he's
I
gonna
mean, it
fall off.
depends if they have Mike Evans or not. That's the difference. But Baker always showed he could play. It's just been his decision making. Let's not forget Baker did lead this team almost to beating Mahomes and them in the playoffs. Let's not forget that Browns team.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
did.
saying he
Yeah, he was. He did do that. I did say
So
that
what
too.
the
I
fuck
remember
was
saying
it
that a
with
couple weeks
Carolina
ago.
then? What the fuck was that then? This nigga just came over here just to bullshit with us?
No, that's not what it is, my guy. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say what Baker said. Baker said when he was here. It was the toxicity of the organization, the coaching staff, and the upper room of Dave Tepper and his involvement was the reason why things were so bad here. Everybody that leaves Carolina, everybody from teams to from coaches to players, they always said something negative about the things that was happening in Carolina and how it
Hmm.
was a relief to be where they are now.
Hmm.
Damn,
Everybody
that's
say about the
fucked
same
up.
thing, Mike. You right. You right. They say about the same
So
thing
so
because
so so
it's too much going on for. It's too. You know what I'm saying? I
no,
put it like
ain't
this
too
for
much
me and
going on,
for
Kendall. It's fuck. It's goddamn Tepper. That's what going on. The Tepper,
yeah, yeah,
goddamn
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I put it. I you said in mine and your professions. You know what I'm saying? If you got
Uh,
the dispatcher and the shipper and the receiver doing this and that, we just the transportation company. You see what I'm saying? And that we
yeah.
deal with it every day because we always got 3 or 4 hands in our pot.
Oh hell yeah,
So
man.
that's the type of
Yeah.
stuff that's going on in Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they said.
Yeah. I
And if
get that.
everybody's saying the same thing, y'all, it's probably going on because everybody says the same thing. It wasn't just Matt Rule saying that. It wasn't just Baker saying that. It wasn't
That part
Sam
too.
Darnold. Hell, C Mac said something to that, and he kind of recanted his words. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but then again, we go back to David. It's the owner, man. It's the ownership, man. It's like, come on, man. But see, again,
So,
now he got Morgan, and he got Canales. Now, if he finds
so
some type of
now,
light with them, go ahead,
so
cousin.
now I understand the reason why Brian Burns is asking for 30 million. He said, "I got to put up with this shit. You gonna pay me for it?
Nah, I
I
Let's
think
get
talk
he
real."
asking for that because we right now we just losing. Anybody,
I mean,
All he doing is losing. He got to deal with his toxic bullshit. He done did everything he can do on the field. You ain't get him no help on the other side except for 1 year. You ain't been showing no consistency. He has no chance of playing in January and February, which is every NFL player's dream. Give me 30
true,
million there.
true.
I've been said that on other podcasts. When you're losing program or a team right now, especially when I'm looking at it, we're gonna be like this for at least 5 years. Anybody coming here, they're gonna have to overspend. That's the nature of the game. That's
You
But
right?
see,
that's how it
if they
goes.
want, so you think they go overspend on Derek Brown and then
You
Brian
have
Burns?
to. You have to
Because
if you want
eventually,
them, unless you trade them.
if we keep goddamn, and Lord knows I hope we don't, but if we keep Bryce Young, you guys to spend some money for his ass too, because he gon' I'm pretty
I
sure he
mean,
gonna
I think he'd
require
be
that.
gone because how bad he plays, it just you ain't gonna get a major
So he
deal.
ain't about to even finish out his rookie contract with us, huh?
I mean, me, I'm the worst case scenario is what I put up. If he throws for like 3,500 yards, they're gonna keep him for the next 2 or 3 years. But if he flames out, hopefully like he did this year, then they'll probably draft the other guy, probably keep him another year, then get rid of him. So minimum, he's gonna be here for at least another 2 years, in my
And
opinion.
we got Andy Dalton for how long? We got him for another year.
This year, I think that's it.
That's it after this year.
So what the fuck we really gonna do then? We
That's
gonna have to do
that's my
something.
quarterback. My quarterback name Andy Dalton. I don't
You
know
gonna
no
have to
goddamn Bryce
you
Young.
gonna have to get some young talent in here behind Bryce, because Andy Dalton, unless you're gonna look to re-sign him and re him up on his deal, you don't got nothing else behind Bryce at all.
Damn.
And
Yep.
then, like
And
I
okay,
said,
so that's why we need that
So
competition then.
So
Yeah.
that's when I go back and I say, you got the young boy in Florida that fucked up his leg that's gonna fall down in the fourth or fifth round. Do you draft him? Or you got Drake or Caleb Williams going to Washington. Do you trade a fifth rounder to get Sam Howell? What do you do?
they're
Because you
not
can
gonna
either
do
get
either of that. They would have signed a second or third round. I mean, not round. They're sign a free agent to come
right
here
who?
because they don't want. The reason I
Like
say
who?
that because they don't want anybody to feel like there's gonna be competition for Bryce right now. At least not this year.
Man, fuck that. That nigga need the competition
I
now. What
agree.
the
I agree with that, but that's not how they're gonna do it.
My man Dan
Oh
Morgan said
boy.
he want competition at every position. So if the
Except
fifth
the
round hit,
quarterback.
if the
The
fifth
pieces
Yeah,
round
to the
here,
man. Fuck
puzzle,
that shit, man.
the
and
pieces
old boy
to the
from
puzzle
Florida,
are getting ready to come in a little bit closer come March 11th. That's free agency now. We're in the combine right now. That's gonna last with the combine started like I said today, and that's gonna be all week right here to next Monday through the weekend, and then on the 11th, that's when they be able to talk to people. You're gonna start hearing news and rumors, and they're able to sign on the 13th. So y'all gonna see the puzzle starting to come together, starting in. It depends on what they do in free agency. Then you see the draft, and then you're gonna see what this guy gonna look like.
I just hope they don't make no dumbass moves in free agency, man, because we picked up a couple guys last year that didn't even pan out. What's my
That's
man
true.
came from Atlanta? Jones,
Yeah,
the middle linebacker. He ain't still
Devon
here.
Dion Jones.
He a
Yeah.
free agent though. He gone.
I mean, I'm thinking they just gonna really tag a trade. Like I listened to that interview with Dan Morgan. He's trying to tag and trade Burns. He's not gonna have him here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel
Then
like they're gonna
okay,
probably
so we
try.
get rid of Burns. Then what the fuck we gonna do? Growth models ain't it? Goddamn, a man that came from boy, he
I mean,
came from
I agree
Army.
with that, but it's just like they they set in their ways. Burns set in his. I think the best thing is, hey, this trade. It's gonna be a hole. I agree with you there, but
But hey,
like
B,
right
why
now
you
they
saying
can.
that? It's cause of money? You saying cause of money?
But
I'm
yeah, I got
fine.
something
I'm
after that.
fine with resigning them, but I'm think Carolina still got that Southern Mafia mentality thing. Saying we want you to sign, but we want you to sign a team friendly type of deal. He's not on
Oh,
that, which I agree with. I wouldn't sign no time team friendly deal either. So I'm thinking they may try to do a tag and trade, maybe with a wide receiver from like say from the Lions, possibly the one for the 49ers. Then try to see if they could get a third or fourth round pick because I'm
ooh.
looking at Burns' situation. At first, I thought he had control, but looking at it, if they tag him 2 years in a row, he's never gonna get that type of money he wants.
God
So I'm
damn, dog,
thinking,
you already a millionaire, man. Shit, you know how much black ass motherfuckers would wish they had $1 million?
I mean, it just
But
Shit.
depends on.
man, at the end of the day, y'all got to still realize you gonna weaken this defense like I don't know what if you end
I'm
up
about to say that, Quintel.
trading him.
What we
Say
gonna
like
drop the
like you said, trading for a receiver. I mean, you still got to replace this man. You got to replace this man at some point. Whatever y'all think about his production, don't look at his production this year.
No,
Y'all
I
know this
mean,
man.
I want him, but I just feel like those both of the parties are just not gonna agree. Not at all.
Okay.
We know what he wants, so I mean, I believe we know what he wants, and believe we know what the team wants. But the problem of it is, the team holds the power on where he goes, or you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
So that's why
okay.
I'm
So we
saying
lose.
this.
So we lose Burns, and we still get. If we still got Evero, we all say Evero supposed to stay here for at least another 2, 3 years, maybe.
I
No,
mean,
I think
Ebro
this.
probably gonna leave.
I think. Yeah, this is his contract, right? Right, Q.
Yeah,
He
this.
had a 3-year contract. He got
He
what?
had a 3-year deal, so he just served 1 year out of the 3-year deal he had for.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
so
is
we
going
got
on the
2 more
second year
years.
of his deal.
So
He got one more year. This year and another year. So you
Yep.
want to say two
so
altogether? I mean,
if we
I
let
mean, I want
Burns
to keep
go,
Burns to be honest, but it just I mean, but let's be real, they're not gonna come to a deal. And I'm looking at the team, and you can sit there and say it's dirty, but if he don't get the money, why would they build around him when they feel like he's gonna leave? Meaning like, okay, you feel like you worth this money. We're not gonna help you build the team on defense, but we are gonna say, hey, show us, you know what I'm saying, you're that guy. And we know football, he's gonna have another edge rusher. Lord, I mean, if he don't get at least 10 sacks, his value always go down each year. So that's why I'm saying the best scenario for Burns is just go ahead and get traded, or that your money's gonna get lower and lower each year. You get older, you don't get younger.
that's true. Well, y'all, if not it, man, it's been a great show. We're going on 3 hours, three and some change. And this is just the start of the combine. Like I say, combine show one. We're gonna get some last words around here, and we signing off. Fourth,
yeah, man.
talk to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off, man. Again, y'all like, share, subscribe, go to the other channel. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do over there. Um, be honest with y'all, man. I don't have no high hopes for this year because I don't know what the fuck Morgan gonna do, Canales gonna do. I already know what Bryce gonna do. So y'all better put y'all fucking seatbelt on and hold it in line, man.
Mm, be good. Tell me something.
First, I just appreciate y'all having me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope everybody subscribe, like what we were saying, and I'm hoping for the team to do better. But right now, I'm not seeing it in the next 4 or 5 years unless they draft perfectly. I know that's not gonna happen. So that's all I gotta say.
No doubt. Mike, talk to me. Mike, oh, okay. Mike,
Yeah, I
Mike,
think he
Mike,
fell
Mike,
off.
Mike. All right, all right. Q, tell me something, brother.
First of all, shout out to Justin Long with that super chat. He says, Shador 2025, this is the way. Salute Black Cat. We appreciate you for that super chat. And to
No
anybody
doubt.
that's watching right now, make sure you do us the illustrious favor, comment, like, subscribe. Show us that love, man. Y'all already see what time it is. It's the Black Cat Panther podcast, man, and we are out of this mug. What's up, Goat?
Hey, man, like I said, Combine Show 1. They going to be doing this thing here all week. Check their body language, like Pop was saying. Check they, like I said, they tone. Um, look at what they said then. Look what they saying now. Then we'll see what they do. They can say something. They can do something else. If y'all think Temple gonna jump in the mix, we ain't seen. I don't know if I don't even know if he been around the combine. Whatever. I don't know. I ain't heard he been low. He been the cat in the cut right now. I don't know, man. Hey, keep pounding, keep praying. That's all I got to say. We out here. We get ready to
Yeah, man.
do it like we do it.
All right, fellas. Much love, man.
No doubt.